What up, y'all? This is Trigger with Instructor Mike and friends. You got Key, Marquise, John. We got a few people that's going to come in a little bit later. Oh, hey, if you want to introduce yourself, please, by all means, go right ahead. And if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe button, all that great stuff. Calvin Carbine on deck, as always, with primary weapon systems. All right, go ahead and hit the share button. You guys do your thing.
Kick it off, John. Unless you not doing
Unless y'all already know who we are, we just gonna go ahead and go right into it. John is.
Well, no, I'll say something. All right, so good evening, everybody. My name is Marquise. I'm with P6 Firearms Training. What we have going, we do the concealed carry courses, advanced courses, renewals, all that good stuff. Currently, we're doing a special for this month, $20 class on how to come up with a personal and home protection plan. 20 bucks Zoom class. Like literally, there's no excuse not to do it. Then next would be April 2nd and 3rd. I believe that's a Saturday and Sunday. We're going to be doing the instructor course again for those of you who are looking to make a difference in the two-way community. If you're looking to make an extra buck, I advise you go to a different instructor. I'm not that dude. Yep. Yes, you can make money, but the thing is this: if your passion isn't there, you ain't gonna make a dime, and you're gonna be ripping people off because you're not gonna be giving them 100% of who you are. Unless you're full of shit, then you give them 100% of who you are.
Facts. John, you muted unless the dog is doing stuff in the background. I know Keywan with Key Enterprises. He's boo-booing right now, so I'm just playing. That's not true. That's not true. I'm just playing. It's not true. That's
hey, they say shit happens, dude, but you know what? That's bull. Shit takes time. Shit takes effort.
Go ahead, guys.
Hello, gentlemen.
Uh-oh. Katie looking like a blind trucker.
Blind trucker.
I didn't know the show was sponsored by AARP.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You right there. You pulling up the rear there, big fella.
I am. You're right. I can't say shit at all. I can't say nothing. I really can't. All right. So
hey, 20 years.
Yeah, hell yeah.
20 years.
What's up, Mike? Oh God, what's going on? All right. Let's dive into it. I said I was gonna make this show tonight about holsters and then talking about the given situation that occurred in Chicago. But I want to touch on this. Y'all know what this is, right? I know y'all know what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Marquis.
What that is.
Yeah, for those of y'all who don't know what this is. This particular one is by Action Target. It's an IDPA target, whatever. Looks the same. The only thing is just got different perforations and stuff, but it's all the same shape as the one that USPSA and IDPA does. So one of the things that I was seeing on let me see if I can find a YouTube video of it. IDPA. Yeah, I don't know, ISPC, some shit. One of the things that I saw people doing is when they were out there shooting, it's the 2 shots move, 2 shots move, 2 shots move. Is that about kind of what you see, Marquise?
Yeah, that's the normal.
Okay, so I saw that, and I've done my share of the Wednesday night shoot nights at a particular range. And of course, I love that range, but I don't want to. What I'm about to say, I want to segregate that from using that range's name, because my comment is, humans are creatures of habit, and because humans are creatures of habit, the one thing that I fear, not me personally or professionally, but I just don't want to ever try to get into bad habits. And I'm always a student of learning newer things, and I'm always willing to listen, especially to those who I feel I can learn things from. And that's always been everybody on this panel. But maybe you all could provide some perspective as to this. I see the 2 shots, 2 shots move, 2 shots move, 2 shots move, and then in some stages you have, you're standing there, literally standing there, and you got 2 shot, 2 shot, 2 shot, and then you move on to another stage, another area. stuff like this. And so the constant theme that I'm seeing is 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots in what appears to be the alpha for those USP SA shooters, or what is this zero in the middle, center of mass, right? So here's the question that I have. In real DAs, real direct action, real situations, is that habit, especially given, people like myself, John, Marquise, KD, other folks that have had actual experience understanding, real shit, that is that building a habit of believing that it's going to be 2 shots with that target and then you're moving on. Can you see how that habit can form in someone who doesn't get experience with DAs, no direct action, you're not really involved in conflict, stuff like that, because no, go ahead, Marquise, like you're about to say something. Go ahead.
So here's the thing. All training is based on the individual. So, for example, 2 shots and getting the hell off the line of force doesn't seem like a bad idea. And it's also with the repetition, if you're looking at maybe 3 to 4 targets, that's not bad. 2 shots move, 2 shots move, 2 shots move, 2 shots move. But the thing is this. Learning how to separate what I call gaming and DA is how you get better. But you have to understand that certain gaming aspects could make you a better DA shooter. Now, some of the things I don't agree with when it comes to that is when there's a cover.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, when there's cover and they put their hands in front of cover, or they reach around cover, stuff like that, that I'm not feeling. But certain actions as far as moving and shooting, I find it to be very good because it kind of teaches you, don't stand there and be a bullet sponge. Go ahead and move off the line of force. But like I said, if people interpret USPSA as DA training, that's when it can get problematic.
And that's what I'm talking about, because for people who have been in real situations or even realistic training where you understand, like John says, contextual issues, there are no absolutes, things of that nature. Because I've watched, like, I spend about 30 minutes watching different people on Instagram go to like Wednesday night shoot nights at a particular gun range, and then they'll even go to other places. I won't mention the titles because then that brings attention to that particular place. We don't want to do that, but just the lesson, and then I'm seeing this, shooter, get ready, stand by, bing, and then you hear that, and then it's what's going on, Christy, and then you hear that constant dynamic push, and it's like a competition, if you will, to get rounds in the alphas and move where there's a combination of dynamic and speed. And in a real situation, you're not always going dynamic. You could be moving slow depending upon the contextual nature of that situation. And so if you're a new shooter and you're going to do these things, make sure that you get someone who helps you understand context, because you're going to get that beep. Oh, Uncle's on. Here we go. You're going to get that beep, and you're going to believe that dynamic, when it may not be a dynamic situation. You may start off slow. You may start off, with pies and stuff like that, and maybe even throwing certain distractions to, bring a person out and stuff like that to, find whatever your target is. And it's like, even when using these, these are stationary, but in a real situation, these little fuckers move. And so if you, like, I'll see 3 of these, and they'll be in, some will be up, some will be down, some will be half black, some could be white, because those are the hostiles. The hostages, you don't want to hit them, and they're all stationary, but you're the only one that's moving. And so, granted, I get it, but I'm just saying for the new shooter, because that's typically the context. Go ahead.
Well, that's the thing, though. When we're talking about the new shooter, oh, John, go ahead, chime in, bro. You was quiet.
No, you cool. So basically, I mean, yes, you got to understand obviously the difference between DA and competition shooting. Competition shooting, I'm not going to by any means discount in any way, shape, or form, because competition shooting has great value in the shooting world. And anyone who doesn't think otherwise, you know what I mean, is just hasn't done it. And they haven't been to that point yet. Direct action, okay? Yes, direct action, defensive shooting, gunfight, however you want to term it out, you know, use what term you want to use for that. It's a life and death scenario, okay? The whole goal is not to die. The aspects of what you're doing, though, while you're shooting is all stuff that can be done whether you're training in a competitive fashion or you're trying to obviously take different defensive pistol classes, things of that nature. So the one difference when you're going through, let's say some of these, let's say you're going to the range or you're taking the concealed carry class, and Illinois doesn't require anyone to induce any stress on you. In fact, they wanted it as least stressful as possible for you. That's why there is no time limit on the certification. You get all the time in the world to shoot your 30 rounds. When you're in competition, there's a certain amount of induced stress that comes from that competition, which a lot of people don't realize, you know what I mean, will help you, because the only way you're going to get to true unconscious competence or myelination is by failing. You have to fail in order to get full unconscious competence. And so naturally, as humans, we're competitive, because when you're in, whether it be USPSA, IDPA, you know what I mean, any of those, all that stuff, you got 20, 30, 40 people literally standing right behind you, critiquing everything it is that you are doing. Then you're timed. Then your scores are getting posted for the world to see next to your name.
Mm-hmm.
And now, you know what I mean? Again, I don't want to be last. I don't want that crown, because if I'm last, that means I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
And
Marcus Luttrell would disagree, but go ahead.
Well, I'll give you Luttrell. Okay, I'll get you Luttrell. Luttrell was not last; he was the last man standing, but his skill set was at a way higher level than any of his opponents.
Exactly. So we ain't talking. So we're talking last on a scoreboard. Not last man standing. Last man.
No one's saying last man standing is a bad thing.
Right. No, it ain't. Shit.
But here's this though. Because I sat there and literally I thought about this before I thought about introducing this topic. And the one thing that I constantly see on, and correct me if I'm wrong, I am willing to be corrected and taught. But the one constant that I see, regardless of different people's skill set, is speed and two shots. Like they're only shooting at all of these tangos, all of these targets, whatever, two shots. That is not fucking real.
In the
movies, it is.
Well, hold on. In the movies.
But here's the thing, and I want y'all to understand this for life. If I have multiple assailants, what would you say is realistic with multiple assailants?
It varies.
It varies. Like me and Mike had a conversation about the Mozambique Drill.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Varies in what way, shape, or form? Okay, so
it varies due to the fact that even if you shoot that target 2 times, does that mean that threat has stopped? You have stopped that threat.
Because here we go. But this so this is what I'm going to ask, and this is the way I'm looking at it.
Sure.
If I'm looking at a USPSA setup where there's multiple targets in one area, all right, I teach my students, everybody, yeah, that's right. I teach all my students the same thing. Everybody gets first before anyone gets seconds. But I'm not going to stand there and shoot a shot. I'm a boom, boom, and I'm a move. Right. If I can draw a move, boom, boom, so I'm not going to stand in front of the target. So 2 shots might not be the ender, but it is enough to get that person ducking so I can get to the second person and I get to the third person.
I agree with you. Unc, let me make this point, and I'm coming to you, I promise. I agree with you, Marquise, 1000%, which is one of the things why I sat there, and when I would see one person standing there with 3 or 4 tangos in front, and now you're standing there, pop, 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 pop. That's where I'm talking about the variability, because if all of them got guns, they see me, see them, I shoot at one of them, I am not expecting them, A, not to move, and B, not to shoot. So I'm probably going to get hit because I'm open. Like those 2 shots, even suppressive fire, I agree with you. It's something to buy you time to get the fuck off that X, provided you're already there. But if you're not, and you got to grab the gun and you're not trained to move, and that's that whole thing that I said is not reality, because I sat there and watched the various videos and saw them go through different stages. And it's like, for a new shooter, not for those of us that understand context, because there is a certain place, I will not say, that does a certain shooting on a certain night where they go all the time. And some of those people watch us, right? And so they go all the time, and then they don't understand context. It's situational. It's habitual, and they're pop, pop, moving on, pop, pop, moving on, pop, pop, moving on. And then they go down there, score their targets, or have their target scored, put the pasties up, and then they see the holes that hit. And what does that do? It embeds within them that key. If you're taking the shit, that's a loud door. All right,
that was me.
I'm not. I'm driving.
I'm just playing. It embeds within them the confirmation, and I can see that happening. That 2 shots does it, and I like the targets that Frogman Tactical had in his YouTube page on his thing, where he had those guys wearing vests. So you gotta imagine, if you're shooting center of mass and you're shooting for alphas, or whatever the terminology is called with IDPA, if you're shooting here, those 2 shots, yeah, it hit the vest, and depending upon what kind of place they had or what kind of shock trauma stuff they had in here, yeah, okay, there might be like 2 rocks hidden, maybe, well, depends contextually, but you didn't do shit but buy time. And so if all you're doing in every stage is you're moving on to the next, not for you guys, take yourself out of your trained mind, because your trained mind, we're going to have this conversation, and I extremely welcome it. But for those of you all watching who are new, you're not moving on to the next tango or the next target until you know that one you shot is down.
You know what? It's Unk's turn. I'll wait till after Unk.
Yeah.
So first, let me apologize for my tardiness track practice. And I think I'm about to reiterate what Mike is talking about.
And obviously, you're not that fast. I'm just saying.
Good one.
The boys, not me. And not to, not to be braggadocious or get on a high horse.
Do it, man. Go ahead.
There is a nuance to being in a gunfight. Some of you know firsthand what that nuance is. First of all, you scared shitless.
And if somebody tell you you're not, you're bullshitting.
And your heart rate, and I've done, ISP, I've done some of these competitions, and I'm like, man, and they were like, because from my world, the tactical world, the SWAT world, I got to make sure what I hit at, first I got to make sure I hit it. I got to make sure I hit it. So, and for and again, I hear you, I'm taking out the trained mind and the nuance. In that gunfight, you're not standing there giving 2, waiting, giving 2, and not expecting anything to come back down range.
Right.
All right. And it's when that shit zings by you, you go, oh, man.
Shit's real.
Everyone that's been in a shootout sought one thing more than anything else. Yes, you hit the bad guy, whatever. They sought cover.
Cover, yes.
They sought cover because that was, and I don't care if it was a twig, you got all of your ass behind that twig, and they sought cover. And
even hit that.
It tends to be very unrealistic that you give 2 and expect, and then 2 and expect, and then 2, when the reality is how we should be training people is, hey, and I've seen you do it, Mike, a couple times, throw these hangups in there. Your shirt got caught, whatever. Boom, shoot, go to places where you wouldn't expect to go because you're trying to find cover and still get on target. Because the objective is the same. Yeah, you want to get on target. You want good rounds. Ultimately, you want to survive this gunfight, and it ain't always pretty. So I think that's a dynamic that, as instructors, we have to throw in there and throw these curveballs in there. And I see you do it all the time. Yeah, okay, all right, this is great. Like you had that lady digging her bag for a gun she couldn't find in her bag, her own bag.
Yeah.
I'll
And,
tell you.
and the thing is this, guys, I feel y'all conversation, but here's the thing, and I want to make sure that we all on the same page. If a person seeks USPSA as a platform for training, that's a whole different story.
Okay.
That's a whole different story. And I don't feel that the average shooter, even brand new, is using USPSA as a tactical, which I hate that word with a passion.
Combative.
Yeah, I hate the word tactical with a passion. I'm so sorry. I don't see anyone using USPSA as a combative course or training to get better. But I will say this, the speed and accuracy that you can achieve with USPSA, I'm going to say it like this. If I can get a new shooter who learns USPSA for what it is, speed and accuracy, and then come to me for combatives or a defensive course, I'll eat that shit up. Because I'm going to tell you like this. One of my best friends was the head instructor of SWAT and a USPSA Grand Master. That is a dude to this day I would not fuck with, but would train with at a heartbeat. If he say right now, hey, Keys, we going to the range. Okay, let's go. He put me on a drill that I recorded years ago where I think it was, I want to say 24 shots in so many seconds. And it was a sliver this big on a USPSA target. I think it was 24 shots in so many seconds. It's on my phone. I have to go look. But we're talking about draw, fire, boom, 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 reload, boom, 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 reload, boom, 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 boom. And I had to get everything in that strip before I could move that target back. I tell you, my accuracy.
I just did the 5x5 today.
And that's what I'm saying. I got to look and see on my phone what it was. When I tell you my accuracy improved greatly because all I had was a sliver, shit. Life was
small, A small, miss small.
Well, A small don't miss at all.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't believe in missing.
I'll jump in on that one real quick. So I'll say this. I have shot, obviously, on the competition shooter side. I do, obviously, I'm more of a defensive tactic shooter, okay? Everyone knows that here. That's obviously everyone that's watched us knows that. Competitive shooting actually made my defensive tac shooting better.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 1,000%. And if you can get over the fact, and I get what Mike's talking about, for a brand new shooter, it can create training scars because, again, all their understanding is 2 shots. So I get that. And just like Marquis says, you know what I mean? If they go and they do that, and then now they're obviously getting combative shooting or defensive tactic shooting, it's going to make them that much better of a person. Because if you look at competitive shooting and then you want to compare that to drills, okay, so let's compare that to a Mozambique drill. So Mozambique drill is drawing from concealment from 5 yards away, 2 shots to the chest, 1 to the head on a stationary target. Our target's stationary. So then that's saying that's almost irrelevant. Then let's go to the El Presidente. The El Presidente is from 10 yards away, facing the opposite direction. And you're supposed to turn, face your targets, draw from the holster. You got 3 targets. You execute 2 shots on each target to the A zone, reload, execute 2 more shots on each target to the A zone. Again, stationary targets. It's more of the aspect of understanding and developing the skills that you're trying to do in those drills and in that competition, of shooting on the move, the idea of how to reload and execute the reload effectively, understanding multiple target acquisitions, understanding, obviously, again, shooting on the move. How should you walk? How should you stand? So it's more getting the skills out of those competitions and those drills to reinforce you, whether it be defense or for you in a defensive aspect. But you do have to understanding that, you know what I mean? Yes, it's going to usually take more than 2 shots to put someone down. In fact, the average is 3.5 shots to stop a target. That's the national average, or the statistic is that it takes 3.5 shots to stop someone.
So let me ask you this question. When you guys are talking about these drills, perfectly with Marquise, do you feel that going and getting the skill set first, then the speed second is better than getting speed and then trying to get the skill set? Because I know I've run a lot of drills, and when I first started off, it was nothing no speedy about it. Everything was about skill set, manipulation, the know-how, trying to perfect the know-how. And once you get that part, then you move to the speed. With doing it the correct way, the speed will come eventually.
Well, Katie, let me answer it this way. Let's look at a life cycle. Fastest man on the planet is Bolt. At some point, he was a baby, and he wasn't running that fast as a baby. He was what? He was crawling. He was waddling until he can. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think he came out of the womb that way.
I think we're all saying the same thing. I think those scars get developed from the point of instruction. If you're having a trainer that is only training competition
Dogma.
and not putting the ideology or the nuance of combatives into the training, you're making a competition shooter that's going to stand there and do 2-2-2. And like Mike said, from that first time you hit, if you got 3 guys and you hit that first guy with 2, you're going to feel a burning sensation. Your next 2 shots are going to be awry.
Mm-hmm. And then the thing is that, I get what you were saying, Marquise, but
do you know? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm just saying, at this particular place range on this particular night, I see the newbies that are in there, and they're pop.
They're going slow, right?
Yes, no, because they're encouraged to put a little speed behind it, and then it's the high fives, good jobs, and then it's this, and it's like no context was being taught or shown. And
not a combative class.
No. You miss what I'm saying. I know, but the thing is, so okay, you remember how I said sometimes we are so trained we forget how to think from the untrained mind. Sometimes we are so trained and we are so skilled, we forget to project what they think, what they see. Like shoot to stop still means shoot to kill to an untrained person who doesn't understand the contextual aspects of stop. So motivating them to modify their daily behavior is something they understand within that untrained context, so we can communicate and speak their language. I'm just saying, from the perspective of someone who may not take a class, that's like Tutor for Shooters and Body by O on Instagram. Before we got on here, they are talking about the ego that exists amongst the untrained in certain communities, that, especially in those states like Texas, where now constitutional carry, you don't even have to take a class. So they go and they do these things, and it seems high speed. It's like they build up a sweat, and it's like, man, shit feel good. And then I'm getting the high fives. Hell yeah, you hit the 2 alphas. That's what to do. And in a real situation, that could build a bad myelination or unconscious competence to the point where you're pop, and then subconsciously you think because you shot and that person did whatever the fuck you think they did, that means they're down, and you're just because you've been practicing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Pop, move, pop, move, pop, move. And instead of just moving, like Marquise said, instead of just moving to get off the X, you're moving to advance to a new tango without making sure this motherfucker's down.
Well, you don't make sure people are down when there's multiple people.
You make sure you
We know this.
Right?
And they don't.
Put them
And that's where.
But Mike, and you shot yourself in the foot because you said a magical word I was waiting for you to say.
Sure.
Ego.
Yes.
What?
I
know. But hold on.
That's what I'm like. Yeah, if you have the ego to believe that what you're doing is training, then you're already fucking up the church's money.
But that's what I'm addressing. Them believing that and not understanding that I'm here. Well, I know we're like, well,
but they're not gonna know. You know what I mean? Because again, no one's ever told them otherwise. You can only know what you know.
But that's why we're telling them.
Well, how many? Let me ask you a question. This is a weird question. How come they're not a lot of instructors doing simulations force-on-force training?
You say how come what?
Because a lot of people don't have the facility to host those trainings.
Bingo.
Outside.
And again, a lot of people don't have the facilities.
You can't do it outside because I'm gonna tell you like this: you have to have a protective barrier so the rounds have somewhere to stop. So you can't just do it outside.
Well,
I'm
I'm not
going to be a sim instructor for 10 years, and you can do that as long as there's not other collateral damage. All these fields we see, like we talked about Texas, where there is.
Where you at?
Texas.
I'm in North Carolina.
Oh, neat.
Bruh. North Carolina, you can shoot in your own backyard with real guns.
Yeah.
What? we in the city, bruh.
Right.
Like John can get away with it, maybe. John can get away with it, maybe. But so for example, I'm a UTM civilian
I can
instructor.
get away with it too.
I'm a UTM civilian instructor, and I'm also a Massachusetts force-on-force instructor.
Okay.
I hold both of them. Now, for me, I like the simunition and UTM idea based on set up the scenarios for the reality of what can happen. Here's the disadvantage that I have with me as a UTM simunition force-on-force instructor. For me to do it, for me personally, I would say for me to give a great force-on-force class with UTM or simunition, preferably whatever's cheaper and I can get immediately, I would say this: I would need at least 5 to 6, maybe 10 actors. And the reason why I say that, because I'm going to give them the scenarios, they're going to act it out, and they're going to do the job I need them to do. And their job is not to fuck with the student. Right. Their job is to provide a learning environment for the student. Like, I won't mention a company, but there are certain companies that have what I call an adult arcades. And what I mean is every fucking scenario is a shoot.
Right.
Or every scenario is so fucking unrealistic. It's like, why the hell would you do it? So, for example, one of the scenarios I remember hearing about was walking to a car. You're walking to your car. Part of the scenario has had people in the car. Like, where in the fuck does that happen? So we're gonna let that ride.
In the movies, when they get in the car and the dude coming behind you that you didn't see when you got into your car.
Exactly. So we playing some fucking Scream shit, okay? So one of the scenarios had a person in the car. Another scenario had a person under the car. And to the point that when the participants were waiting to go up, they were literally, what you doing? I'm getting ready for when it's my turn. So when you go to your car,
you have no idea what your turn is.
Right. So the thing is this. So when you go to your car, you're telling me every time you go to your fucking car, you in the house going, finna go to my car. If that is you,
in Chicago,
you do the wrong neighborhood.
Chicago, urban,
bruh. You want some new shit. Like, you taking bumps of coke every time you go to your car. What's going on? Go to my car right now.
So let me ask you this: for the new shooter, you couldn't scale that down to 1 or 2 instructors where you're the lead, and you put 1 or 2 people just to give them the idea of stressors, to give them the idea of the reality that, hey, if you've got more than 1 shooter, this two and move is not realistic, especially when you have somebody shooting back at you. Because
I'd say the easiest way to do that would be a simulator.
I'm gonna put it like this: if you set it up, because I'm a UTM and simulation instructor, if you set it up, you call me, I'll come out and help you out. Bam, that's it.
Look at God. No, I'm just kidding. But
I'm serious. I'll put it out. Look, I'm retired. My time is, I just got to keep up with this young thing I got here. But if you set it up, and that's I think that's how we have to move as instructors on that level, supporting one another, building each other up, not tearing people down. If you got it, if you want to set it up, hey, I got it. Boom, 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 boom. I buy a plane ticket. You ain't that far. Go in there for a weekend, a day, set it up, shoot it, run it. Because at the end of the day, what is the outcome, the value that students get out of that type of instruction? That, like you said, it would have to be something extraordinary.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm down. And like I said, it's just for me. So I'm gonna tell you like this, and this is just me. I can't speak for nobody else. I'm technically OCD when it comes to shit. I have, and I think people who, I don't think anybody on this channel remembers, when I set up my defensive course, the one that I teach, it's a defensive fucking course because I'm teaching you to move the fuck out the way, to drop stuff, to move stuff, how to move defensively, how to draw defensively. I'm showing you all that stuff. Do you know how long it took me to make that one class? Almost 3 years. Because every time I made it and I saw it for what it was, I crumbled it up and started over. Because the OCD was like, you know what? I can't feel this. If I wasn't feeling it, I'll crumble up and start all over again. But when I finally found what I liked and I enjoyed, the only change I've made so far since I instituted it was a cell phone instead of a paper cup. That's the only thing I changed because I'm like, okay, everybody ain't going to Starbucks. I know I damn don't. So fuck Starbucks. Anyone who don't support police and law and military, you can kiss my ass. So forget you. Unless you've been shot at because it was you doing a job and you feel like you don't like these people who are being shot at, that's a part of their job. There we go. I had to make sure I was in the camera right there. So that's how I feel. All right. You don't support military, you don't support police. Hey man, I understand we all got our opinions, but military ain't done shit to you. Now, when it comes down to that stuff, I'm telling you, it's like getting those force on force activities. You got to get people to come out and train. And that's the problem. And I'm just speaking for me. The problem I'm having right now is that people don't want to train, even for shit that's at their house.
Yeah.
I offered a $20 Zoom class. Zoom. You know what that means for everybody? You can call in or you can watch it.
Yep.
You can be on your bathtub. You can be on the toilet. You can be at your dinner room table. I don't care. You call in and it's $20.
Their mindset is not the same. I think Mike talked about that earlier. There's a certain class of people. I'm not going to mention it because he was on that today. There's a certain class of people that don't get value out of the training. They'll go to an event, and when they come away from it, they just went to the event. There's nothing that resonates with them, that stays with them. They don't get value from it. We're doing concealed carry classes now since 2009. And I follow up with people. I'm like, do you go to the range? You shoot? No, guns in the closet. Oh, okay. All right. A lot of people don't get value out of that training. And then my question is, okay, so you have never been in a confrontation, right? You don't carry. You are not proficient with it. So what is the value of training until you need it? And then you don't have it.
Hey, Mike, we talked about that once before when it came down to the 16-hour course.
Yeah.
The fact that a lot of these people that come, they don't care about what we talking about in those classes.
No.
They really don't care about us. We stand up there all day long. We talk. We get them to interact. They're doing just enough. I did what I told you I was going to do, Mike. I started asking people in the class, how many of you guys prefer to just drop the money, double the money, and I sign your certificate, you go home right now. And you should see how many people raise their hand. And those are the people that I really want to tell you can leave my class right now. You could just go because
that's when you just tell them, guess what? You're the one that's going to be dead.
Well, see,
I follow up. I tell them flat out. I'll see you in a coffin.
Your firearm gonna have dust bunnies in the inside of it. It's gonna be in the bottom of your purse, in your closet, up under the seat. I said, and when you have that oh shit moment, you're going to think back to this day that I had this conversation with you, and you're going to wish.
See, that's where you got to drive it home more, KD. You got to drive it home more. Just sitting there saying you're going to be the one that has it in the closet. They're going to be like, yeah, okay. I will see you at your funeral in your coffin. Your family better have your funeral expenses set aside for you. Because if you think you're going to pull your gun and defend yourself, you're dead. You got to go extreme. It sounds bad, but you have to go extreme. I touch so much on the psychological effects and obviously why we're carrying at least in my classes, that I've had hundreds of people come through and be like, damn, I didn't look at it like that.
You know what? And I will say this. What the hell is that sound?
I hear it when it's key. When I mute key, I don't hear it anymore.
He dropping the kids off to the pool.
So this is what I would say too. You know what else dictates the type of, and again, it is what it is. because I've always had what they considered my prices are too high for concealed carry. I've never had one of those students who was there and was like, I never had that person because I'm like, yo, you see the money you spending? I wish you would come to my class, talk about some shit. You gonna get this. And the thing is, I got military folks who pay the military price and come kick it with me for 2 days. And I'm like, dude, listen, I'm going to give you something. I promise you. Even my certificate ain't on white paper. My certificate is literally on parchment paper because I don't give away certificates. You earn a damn certificate. So my thing is, yeah, has the quality of the student dropped? Sure. If your prices allow any and everybody to take the course, you don't get what you get. You got to flip that coin, baby.
Yeah, I get that here too. I get your prices are there, but when they come to the class and they learn what they learn, it's 8 hours. They don't be wanting to go home. I'm like, look, we've been here for 8 hours now. I'm trying to be out of go.
Right. Like, for example, I taught one person. I kid you not. I would teach one person in concealed carry for 2 days. What was crazy is that one of my last students I taught a class in Matson. She drove from Waukegan to Matson just to train with me for concealed carry twice. I had another student, actually another couple of students who drove from like Lake in the Hills and close to the border of Wisconsin to Matson to do a renewal course because they was like, yo, when you teaching one? I'm teaching one in Matson. Okay, I'm there. So your quality of student is literally going to be based on the price. And I hate to say it, dude, we all know what the places I just named. If you don't know the places I just named, it's over an hour drive just to be around me for that period of time. And again, I'm not trying to be braggadocious, but I'm saying it like this. No one refers me to people they know are full of shit. And those who come to me that are full of shit, I get that phone conversation real quick. Hey, so what's going on? Man, listen, I need the concealed carry course, but you know, I've been around guns my whole life, and I know most of that class is fluff. So can you just do it in 1 day? Nope. Well, come on, man. I know all this. Nope. You're not worth my credentials. I apologize. And one of my favorite comedians' voices, you can fuck off and on because you're not worth my credentials.
It's the lemon. It's the lemon. It's the
lemon.
lemon.
I mean, I've had similar students, you know what I mean, where it's and I've had them in the class.
Just
where you know what I mean. I had a girl come through the class a couple months ago. Okay, a male and female came through the class. They're couple, married. I don't know what they were.
Did you separate them?
No, they said actually.
Oh no, you got separate.
No, it's cool. No, it's cool because I like to see the reaction. I like to see their reaction. But they came from Chicago, and everything out of her mouth was well, I mean, I technically don't need this class because I'm going to be Chicago police. And I said, okay, that's good. So once we start, you know what I mean, getting into the class and we get into obviously all the basics and she starts the I know and I know and I know. And then I'm literally deflating her every time she opens her mouth. I used her as a complete training tool the entire class. Because anytime she wanted to talk out of turn and try and think that she was going to run the class, I informed her not only how she was wrong and proved it to everyone in the class how she was wrong. And then from there, we get into the laws and, you know what I mean? Well, if this happens, I can do this. Well, this law says you can't. Well, where did that law come from? Well, it came right there from that statute, Illinois, you know what I mean, 720 ILCS section blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm not going to worry about that because I'll be Chicago police. Okay, see, there's your first process, your first wrong thought, or not your first, but there's your wrong thought process, ma'am. I kept saying thought.
Chicago, baby. You got
thought
Chicago rolled off
process, ma'am. You continue to think that you know everything. I was like, hopefully you do not end up like another Ella French. In that CPD set her up to fail because, you know, they want to be kinder and gentler. And hopefully you don't end up like Ella French and you end up dead in a coffin. I was like, because Ella French was a great woman, but she shouldn't have been where she was. And so because you think you know it all, And then when we go out to the range, you know what I mean? I have to physically show you how to shoot.
Yep. And you
and
find
hit
out
the target. And you don't need this class.
Mike,
There goes it continues to run the same thing that we talk about. I mean, yes, we're going to get all different types of quality people. You know what I mean? There's going to be people that jag off the money. There's going to be people that, you know what I mean? I need the class, so I'm going to spend the money. And they're still going to come in and act like knuckleheads. It don't matter. I mean, are you more susceptible to the lower price point? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, business is business. It sucks to say that, but in order to be competitive, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to do certain things to stay competitive. Otherwise, if you're doing this as your primary job and you're charging, you know what I mean, $300 for a concealed carry class, if you're trying to eat off of that money, then guess what? You may not be eating very much.
Yep. Which is why I said what I said about becoming an instructor.
You just gotta control it. You know what I mean? You have to be able to control your class. If you cannot control your class, you don't belong being an instructor. That's it, plain and simple.
That's why we use tranquilizer darts.
I use the power of get the fuck out.
Yeah, I like tranquilizer darts because then I can go through your wallet and actually make some purchases on Amazon Prime. You know what I'm saying?
Or I'll just embarrass the shit out of you in class until you realize that just shut the fuck up and listen.
Be empathetic, Jesus. Marquise, I put it out there. Look, when you put that class in, you call me, I'm coming. Give me about 2 weeks.
And I'm coming too. I want to be there. Hey, but John, I've actually had a student like that, and it was someone that I unfortunately knew that thought that they knew everything about everything. Mr. John Wick himself, and I let him go through the whole everything. I went to let him go to the range, and I failed him. Like right in front of all the female students, he thought he was Don Juan. I failed him, like literally failed him, because you did everything that I told you not to do. You manipulated the firearm every which way that I told you not to do it, and I failed him. And he was asked to, of course, you know, but it was one of those decisions like I told him, you can go anywhere else and get your license. You won't get it from me. You will not have my name. Who is that eating?
Right. Like, is someone licking the microphone?
But I told him, I said, you can go anywhere else and get it. That's fine, but you won't get it from me. You know, so it's one of those judgment calls that you have to make as an instructor in order to, as a gatekeeper, pretty much, to keep that, you know, keep everybody on the up and up. Because I would hate to see one of my students on the news.
All right, real quick.
I'm not the one making the sound. I'm not the one making the sound. I already.
All right, KD. KD, keep your hands in the air and talk.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Can we good?
I want to make sure it's not your mic, because I'm like, who the fuck licking the mic?
No.
Like someone got some Prince shit going on.
Unless you hear something going z.
No. It's like if someone got some. Like some baby, I'm just like my mother.
Mike, you got some questions in the room? Maybe we can ask you some questions. Do people have questions in the room?
Yeah, you know what? There were some questions. Let's address that too. Thank you for that, Unc. Tanisha, if are you in the Chicagoland area? I hope you are.
Tanisha's in Chicago, because if I'm not mistaken, Tanisha met me at the gun range.
Okay, good. You got it.
If I'm not mistaken, Tanisha, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you got to get into his class. We had fun. Marquise, I will say this. I would always see Marquise at the range, but I have never been in his classes before. And I've invited one of my friends. He's a combat veteran from OEF, OIF, and she.
I was gonna say, she's customer service.
Hey, don't do that shit. Hey, do that shit, but I thought it was something else because
No, her name is customer service. So anyone's got any problems, talk to customer service.
Hey, she's great. So
I'm giving her shit.
Yeah, and she gets it too. So, but I did
make a noise on the mic.
I don't know who it is.
Mute individually, one at a time.
Hey, Mike, that was you, Mike the shooter. As soon as he muted himself, it killed it.
Are you sure that's me?
I don't think it's Mike.
No, it's back.
Instructor
Mike,
Mike,
mute yourself again.
Michael, you remember me, right?
Yeah, we would the fucking range. Yeah, you just called yourself. Hey, say Mike the shooter.
I just came up with it. I just came.
Yeah, I know. But what the fuck was I talking about? I don't know, man.
Question.
Who was the young lady I've been
no, Marquise's classes, and we're talking about Tanisha too. So I went to Marquise's class, and I went to like on the drop of a dime. It was like he had posted up a class. I was like, fuck it. It was at TK's range up north in Wisconsin. I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna go on ahead and drive up there. I made that about an hour and a half drive, and Marquise taught an amazing class. He really did. I love the way he teach. He don't sugarcoat shit, you know, and he's extremely helpful when it comes down to you asking questions and wanting to know. And my thing is, I am one of those instructors where I don't mind learning from you, but you got to have some shit for me to teach. And I don't care about you getting my ass if I'm fucking up, but you know, you got to have something I can learn from you from. And Marquise is one of those guys, and he's all about safety. We definitely did live fire stuff. We shot a lot of fucking rounds, and that wasn't even, he had to reduce the round count to make it affordable because it was during the pandemic. And, you know, that's just one of his classes that I taught. I mean, that I was with. And he ain't sugarcoat shit. He's like, I expect you to do good because I know you know how to shoot. And if I fucked up, I know he's gonna hand me my ass. And that is the type of person. Look, Tanisha, you got to get to his class. And I'm saying that. And I don't blow smoke up nobody's ass. You know, I don't have time for the shit. You know what I'm saying? Even if I did, I still wouldn't. You know, Unc, from the caliber of person that he comes off to be, same thing with Katie, everybody on this panel, John, we just came from a class. Matter of fact, a class that we invited other instructors to come to. And without saying the names, they didn't come to. And one of the ones that did came or come, he was but he did something that was like that would be like a cardinal fucking no. And we gonna playing around with the gun, and the instructor had to and oh my god, that was so fucking embarrassing. But neither here nor there. Get in Marquise's class. Get in Marquise's class. It's worth the money. It's worth the money. You know, it's worth the money. You know, and you're gonna get your ass out there. And you're going to shoot and you're going to learn some shit. That's where, you know, test the limitations of your, we're going to talk about holsters. So Unc, Marquise, John,
all y'all,
her name ain't customer service, but all of y'all, if y'all got holsters around you, when we get to not 1 o'clock, but when we get to that hour moment and let's bring out the holsters, no guns because YouTube will kill the feed. But
what if it's a blue gun?
I got a
blue
couple
gun.
of
We
them.
can do blue guns, but we can't do regular guns.
Hey, Mike, did you find your Uncle Mike that we was talking about?
No, I forgot to go to my storage and get it. Yes.
Holsters.
But yeah, we can talk about holsters because I want people to be able to walk away from this. And those of you all watching by YouTube, it takes nothing literally for you to share this on Facebook, share this in your feeds, get these numbers up, please. Like it, share it. If you subscribe, cool, but like it because when you hit the likes, it puts it out there, algorithm that people are coming into the conversation and costs nothing to share. But we're gonna talk about holsters too, because there's a video that I'm gonna show about a young lady who got her shit snatched, and there's another video that I'm gonna show about some other stuff like being brave, unnecessarily brave with your pistol just because you got it. I'm gonna show you the video because somebody else, another content creator, put it out there, and I'm like, no, that's not to do. So we'll cover that. But go take Marquise's course. I had to say that, Tanisha, because Tanisha had talked about. She said, nope, I haven't met any of you. I'll be at John CCW at the end of the month, and I will take defensive. Okay, good.
Yep, and her name was Tamika. That's the one who met me at the gun range.
I knew I recognized her name.
Yeah,
she signed up for the next class.
Okay, good. There we go. So we already
area did.
Yeah, huh?
So she's in the Bourbonnais area.
Yeah, she's down here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tanisha, we already know you're gonna get great training from John. We know you ain't gonna be sugarcoated on shit. We already know. So you in great hands, and just let's get it going. Let's get it going.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. So there's several people in the comments that have asked, obviously, about who's close to Ohio, who's close to Michigan, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
We can't attest to, obviously, a lot of instructors in other states per se. Obviously, there's ones that have been up here on this panel tonight and other nights. But there's another aspect that, again, if you like who we are, I've driven to Oklahoma City for training. Okay, as an instructor, I don't stop training. Okay, just because I'm an instructor, I don't stop training. So, like, the Guardian Conference is in September. That's down in Oklahoma City. It's a 3-day conference. I go down there and I shoot for 3 days. Then I'm going to other trainings, checking out different people. You know what I mean? Constantly training. So if it requires you to drive, I get it. Sometimes people don't necessarily have the money, but are you prepared to have a coffin ready for you when you don't take the training?
He's so morbid.
Yeah, I'm conceited. I fly everywhere, so
You
unfortunately,
know what I mean? But Unc, you know I'm right. Unc, you know I'm right. You know what I mean? Do you have a coffin ready for you because you didn't have the time to train?
I'll be at TACON next month in Dallas.
Yep. There's another one. So it's one of those. You know what I mean? You may have to travel. All you gotta do is hunt the instructors down, and there's more than just us. I mean, I know. Okay, Matt Little, that's another one. Riley Bowman, Brian Eastridge. Brian Eastridge's been up on this panel.
Yep.
Todd Fosse, he's the one that came down and did the hand-to-hand combatives class the week before last. He's up in Minnesota. So again, sometimes you got to travel if you want the quality training that you want.
Okay, I muted myself, so I know it's not me with that goofy ass sound. Just for the record,
myself right now. Here I go on mute.
It's not.
Let me see if it's me. Can I?
Nah, it ain't you. I don't know who it is. Okay, now it's confusing. Maybe it is Mike.
Which mic?
Oh shit!
Which mic?
Instructor Mike, because I don't hear it now.
I hear.
Damn it.
I hear.
No, I hear it now.
I hear it now. Okay, so it's
I
not
hear it
Mike.
when
All right,
talk.
Sir Mike, mute
Saint
your
Mike.
mic. Or sorry,
No,
Saint Mike, mute your mic.
Saint Michael. Saint Michael.
Saint Michael, mute your mic.
Okay.
Everyone
right.
talk.
So la la la
How's
la.
everyone doing? Everyone
It's
having a great night.
D-O-double-G. Snoop Dogg. Okay.
Everyone having a wonderful evening.
Oh shit!
Doing great. I
it
don't
might
hear
be
it
Saint
anymore.
Damn.
Saint Michael,
Saint Mike. Excuse me, Saint Michael. Let me.
the patron saint of shooters.
Is that how that works?
Saint Michael the shooter.
Yeah, that's you, Mike. That's you, bro.
Yeah, brother. It's you now.
But it's all
No,
good.
that can't be
What
me
internet
because
you got?
every time
You gonna
when
piss
Marquise talk, the little electricity keep going on and on every time when you talk.
Wait, customer service changed her name to
Asia.
Isaiah. Oh.
It's Asia.
Asia. Oh, okay.
Right.
I'm jacking up people's name out here.
Hey, everybody bald head except for one person.
You gonna piss off some devout Catholics with Saint Michael?
The patron
That's
saint.
okay.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
Someone just asked about constitutional carry. Okay, for me, I'm 100% against it. I'm sorry. I don't believe in it. I'm so sorry. I don't believe in constitutional carry, and I definitely don't believe in lifetime concealed carry. That's just me.
But y'all know, the funny thing is, learning about the history of this thing, the entire concealed carry thing only came about in the 1800s?
Concealed?
Yeah.
I never did the history on it, but I mean,
it was 1875 or 1865 is when they first states talked about New York in 1911.
KD, mute your mic.
I'll say we hear it again, and it ain't Saint Michael.
It ain't me.
Right, I know it ain't me.
Yeah.
I paid my internet bill last year.
Hey, I bet you it's KD. Is KD typing into his 3D machine?
Probably.
Actually, no. I'm done running my test passes, as you can see. So it wasn't me.
I'm mad we playing Who Did It. Whoever
Right. This is fun. That wasn't
whoever dealt it,
Asia,
smelt it. What the fuck?
That wasn't Asia. She thinks it's her. It wasn't her. It existed before she.
No,
existed before she
again.
got on.
I put myself on mute, and it's either Marquise, John, or Instructor Mike. One of y'all three.
Thought it was me. Thought it was me who.
All right, fuck it.
So
Talking about the history of it, it's only come about. It's not a very long time since the whole concealed carry thing came along. So,
I just don't believe it constitutional, bro. I'm sorry. When you have the level of stupidity and attention spans that most humans have, I don't want a group of people killing the Second Amendment based on the Second Amendment. You know what I mean?
Right. And so let's look at it. Let's look at it from gunfight at OK Corral. Those days, cowboy days. They were just as reckless because they was killing people was getting shot in the street.
No, they were not reckless. And I'm gonna tell you
They
why they
weren't
wasn't
reckless.
reckless.
They were reckless. Wait,
No.
man, wait a minute. Okay, I'm gonna let you say it. That man had a city ban on people coming into the town with firearms because the cowboys hands and the cowboys are coming up the trail and they come in there and drink and shoot. That was recklessness.
But who was doing the reckless shit? Bad guys were doing reckless shit.
No, it was not necessarily bad. It was the cowboys. It was
No. What I'm saying, so if we're going by the movie Tombstone,
no, we're talking about
Real life.
real life.
Not
well, the OK
Tombstone,
Corral
not
was
Holiday.
good guys
We
versus
might
bad
as well-
guys, though. The shootout at OK Corral was bad guys versus good guys. Yes or no?
Nah, that really wasn't how that went down.
Break it down for me. What was OK Corral and who was involved?
And actually it was a massacre, is what it was. It was a massacre.
I know Wounded Knee was a massacre, but
half the people that were supposedly drew their guns never drew their guns. They got shot down like dogs. But
okay, so according to this, the gunfight at the OK Corral was a 30-second shootout between lawmen led by Virgil Earp and members of a loosely organized group of outlaws called the Cowboys.
Right.
It was good guys versus bad guys. It was not just a whole bunch of people who just had guns saying, let's do this shit. Someone upholding the law. Someone breaking the law.
There was subjective. There was definitely, there was some bad blood between some people.
It still was lawmen versus bad guys. It still was lawmen versus bad guys. So what I'm saying is this. If you look at and this is what I always hated. Man, if everyone gets concealed carry, it's going to be like the Wild Wild West. My problem with that statement, what the fuck was wrong with the Wild Wild West? No one got into a gunfight just because. No one just walked around shooting people just because. You had a gun, I had a gun. Unless I had some type of beef with you, this gun didn't get drawn, neither did yours. It was a criminal act to draw the gun just because.
Right.
Now,
you follow me.
What the hell?
Sorry, keep going.
You.
No, that was.
So when you look at that type of stuff, this is what I'm saying. If you look, and this is how I feel about constitutional carry. Constitutional carry opens it up for ignorant people who refuse to be trained, who don't care about training, and just say, I can get a gun. And God forbid if they have the S on their chest because they have a gun in their hand. That's what I'm looking at. I'm scared of the bravery that guns give people who were never brave in the first damn place.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
I've always made the same reference. Back in the 90s, we had the bracelets, WWJD. What would Jesus do? Mine will always be, what would you do if you didn't have a gun?
But let me ask you this, Marquise. How do you feel about those states that allow people to just go out and just fill out for the card and get a concealed carry license?
I don't like that either. That's why I'm not a fan of universal concealed carry. I'm not a fan of it because I wouldn't want anyone from a state that doesn't require training to show their ass up here and think shit's sweet. Yeah, but in that same token, let's not pretend we don't have some instructors who have signed certificates and let some people go free. Because I've met some of these students in my renewal class, and I'm like, oh, so you didn't learn shit.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah. But if you look at statistically, we have, I believe, and I hope I'm not mistaken, we have one of the most strictest conceal and carry.
New York got us beat.
Well, New York, okay. New York, I think California also.
Yeah.
But
New Jersey,
California,
New Jersey, Connecticut.
Yeah, but we up there at the top of the list somewhere when it comes down to it.
I say yes and no because technically Illinois is a may issue state. Excuse me, shall. We're a shall issue state.
Yeah.
So literally, there's nothing that stops you from getting concealed carry as long as you're not a felon.
Okay, but if you think about some of these other places, like our next door neighbor, that all you have to do is go down there and fill out the paperwork.
But look where they started. They didn't start at go out and fill out a document and you got a concealed carry. They didn't start there. They always had guns and people carrying guns in Indiana.
See,
we are brand new. We're still in infancy stages.
But what I'm saying is, if you look at our statistic, our numbers, as compared to their numbers, and we got training.
Our numbers been horrible since day one, though.
That is true.
Before concealed carry.
But what I'm saying is, it does. So if you saying our numbers been horrible before concealed and carry, our numbers are still getting horrible. They staying horrible. And you said that you don't like the fact. I'm playing the devil's advocate here, but you said that you don't like the fact of not having the constitutional carry because you don't like people to have no training come over here thinking things are sweet. But yet, if you go across the street, a lot of those people don't do the stupidity that I see here in Chicago due to the fact that it's more likely for someone next to you to have a firearm than it is not.
But once again, Indiana has had the fear of people shooting other people before they went to license-only concealed carry. They've already had the fear of people being shot for being stupid in Indiana. We didn't have that. So they've already had concealed carry. They've already had open carry. They had whatever they had in Indiana before they had lifetime concealed carry. So the fear of being shot as a criminal has already been established. In Illinois, we didn't get concealed carry till 2014. The first license went out in 2014.
Right.
So look at 2014 first license and how bad crime was before 2014. We've never had the opportunity to scare the fuck out of criminals. Criminals never had to fear walking down the street and being shot for doing stupid shit as in criminal activity. They never had that fear. That's why I said, if you look at Indiana, Indiana will be the perfect example of the Old West.
What you got, John?
Go ahead. You on mute, John.
Hey, Mike, put that last comment that you had up again. I have a response for that. And it's not a bad response. No, not that one.
I'm just glad. Okay, here we go.
So, this is where, and some people may like this comment or not. You want to have constitutional carry? Then, hey, we're going to have Darwin, survival of the fittest. Because I promise you, the more people that are walking around carrying guns and don't get training or because no one requires it, there's going to be the more coffins that are going to be at the funeral home.
But here we go. I listen to Bond Court every day, and they're already walking around with guns already.
Mm-hmm. Because but see that we've already talked about that. Everyone thinks is that the gun is the only tool that you need to survive, and that you don't need any training in order to carry that tool. That you put it on your hip, and you are now Superman, and that I can defend the world, I can defend my family, I can defend anyone around me, just because I'm carrying that gun. So and the second I pull that gun, I have no idea how to utilize that gun.
But let's be clear. Bad guys are not going through any of these hoops, these mental gymnastics.
Oh, no, they're not.
That we're talking about with the two-way, the right to. Bad guys, all this stuff we're talking about is for the legal firearm owner.
Yep.
The bad guys don't care about the 2A. They don't care about the right. They don't care about training. They don't care about any of those things.
But here's the thing with that. The bad guys are out there training every night.
They are.
On live target.
Yes or no? You know what I mean? They're out there doing shooting. So literally, they're out there training. So the pro 2A that's walking around with a constitutional carry that doesn't train against the criminal that is out there training because they're out there committing the crimes with those guns. So they're training.
I think Marquise went up first before St. Michael.
Now, and that's the whole thing. You're right. Criminals aren't out there worried about 2A. But unfortunately, in our current climate, the last thing we need is bad or more bad press when it comes to guns. That's the last damn thing we need in the United States. If you look at literally almost every freaking Democrat, nope, I'm not going to do that. If you look at every freaking election where it involves people who are anti-2A, the first thing they tell you is you don't need it because you don't need it. But those same people who tell you you don't need it are protected by what?
Everybody.
Guns. You're protected by guns 24/7, 365. What Secret Service person you know ain't got a damn gun? What person you know that lives in that's in Congress or whatever don't live in a gated community that lives in a hood? So let's be real. I feel like this. Training is a necessity, yes. Is it right to force people to train for their 2A rights? No, it's not right to force people to go get training because the Second Amendment is a right. And I understand that. But realistically speaking, between an untrained person and a criminal, if I'm not on that criminal's list, there's a 100% chance I might walk out of this encounter. If an untrained person is a scared little punk with a gun, there's a 50-50 chance I'm walking out this encounter. Because guess what? I think Brian gave this example weeks ago where a gentleman had a gun on a young lady behind the counter at a gas station. And that man got shot because the perspective was man with gun is pointing at a young girl behind the counter. When the truth of the matter was the man with the gun was the store owner.
Yeah.
And the girl behind the counter was robbing him. And he got shot by a concealed carrier. Because the first thing was, I'm just going to shoot because I see somebody with a gun. So once again, I'm not going to say training is the end-all be-all answer because just like instructors and shoes, we all come in different shapes and sizes. And strengths.
True.
You know, you might buy think about it. You can buy an expensive Louis Vuitton or you can buy a cheap-ass Pro Wing. But guess which one lasts the longest?
The Pro Wing.
That Pro Wing ain't going nowhere. Just
Security Jake 90 said, just remember, attached to every bullet is an attorney. If you a bad guy, you won't really care about no attorney.
Exactly.
Oh.
Don't give a shit.
They got free attorneys.
They got
Man, don't they?
pubic defenders.
Oh,
They be protecting something else when they go to jail, though. I'm just saying.
Hey, Mike, you ready to talk about these holsters?
yeah. John, are you adding your?
Yeah.
What the hell?
What kind of camera? What kind of Obama phone are you on?
Right. Why you like he in lockup? Hey,
Like
John, why you like you in county, baby?
Hold on. Y'all Mike Brown seeking leave to file my appearance on behalf of the defendant John Hampercap, who is standing before you in open court right now. We're answering ready for trial.
like he in love after lockup. Hey, girl, you bought my steak? I'm coming home in 3 days, girl. I'm coming home in 3 days.
Your Honor, the proof is not evident. The presumption is not great that my client John Hampercap, who is standing before you in open court right now.
Why are we hitting ourselves?
Because that's John. He got on his new phone.
Yeah, I know. I'm fixing it.
It's probably an Android.
Hey, forget you, bro. You better back up. Hey, our phone is janky. Well, that's a conversation for another day. Let me go get my host.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike. You had something to say. Go ahead. Talk to me about what you got. Go ahead.
No, I'm on my laptop. Calm down.
Okay. Talk to me about what you got, Mike. Go ahead. Where did he go? Same Michael, the shooter. All right. Here we go. Y'all got other holsters?
Mike, I got a box of holsters like you got.
That's
I got a couple of them.
All right. So let's talk about them. Let's make this a holster conversation.
You want to go?
Band holster.
I tried to find my Uncle Mike's. I didn't go to the storage to find it. I thought I had it here. I am hearing myself.
You had one like this?
You know I got one. Hey, matter of fact, look. Bam. Pancake. Yes.
All right. Well, in my defense, I was not prepared. All my holsters and training guns are at the office, so I have a real holster with a real gun.
That's
Take
fine.
it out.
You can talk about it. People need to understand it.
Clydex.
Yeah. Now, why am
Alien gear.
In my defense, I was not prepared.
Actually, I like this one.
Why do you like the alien gear? Why do you like that one?
This is my appendix carry. It has a retention screw on it for tension.
You also got to get a You also got to get a bunch of Lego parts to put it together too.
Yeah,
Then
you
we talked about-
You got to use that holster.
Huh?
You need a college degree to use that alien gear holster.
You do have to read the instructions. If this is not a manly man, I don't need no instruction holster. You have to read the instructions. But the reason why I like it is because unlike most holsters that I have purchased, if you look at the way that they have the belt clip as compared to the bottom of where the barrel will go, it sits a lot higher. So carrying appendix, it does not pinch your junk.
Hey Josh.
It actually sits a lot higher. The backside of it has a nice little smooth, if it's against your skin, it doesn't chafe you or anything else. So that's why I really do like this alien gear. Plus, I can carry it 6 different ways with this one holster. And if I decide not to carry what I carry in this, I can send the shell back in, and they'll send me a new shell for whatever it is that I decide to carry next.
They kind of got to all that extra Lego parts and shit.
Well, you get what you pay for.
I mean, I bet shit. The alien. I guess with the alien.
A rector set holster.
I got this Codex. It's from Watchdog Tactical, black owned, veteran operated, owned and operated. It's a universal Glock. It fits every Glock.
So this is what I was doing just a minute ago. This is some bullshit. That's how you know I'm fucking tired. That's crazy.
Wow.
So here's the thing. Go ahead, boss. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you can configure it in the waistband, outside. It's pretty decent. Good hard Codex. Doesn't irritate, and I hate in the waistband. I hate that stuff. I think my clothes too tight, but
maybe. You wearing skinny jeans? Be real.
No, but Mike, being on duty and on patrol, wearing a holster on the outside, you got that scar from the vest and the holster.
Yeah,
it put a permanent, but it was comfortable. So it was decent. But like you said, I got this old flat pancake.
I think everybody got one of those.
No, we don't. I ain't got one.
You don't have one?
No.
Well, you're not Leo, so yeah, I get it.
No, I just train you fuckers. That's all.
Hey, yeah, because if you were law enforcement, you ain't got this fucking.
You had a pancake holster. You definitely had one.
Yeah, look, duck.
So this is my go-to, but I also carry inside the waistband and I carry appendix. Okay. The only time I carry at 3 o'clock is if I'm in a suit and that's open, and I'm literally open carry. So I'm on my hip. I'm not in my waistband. So this is my go-to because I carry appendix. This is made by Tier 1 Concealed. They have multiple holsters where you can have one where the magazine is attached to the holster. I don't like that for me because it removes some of my mobility. So for every holster that I carry, whether it be inside or outside the waistband, I always put it to the test of doing a box jump. I put the holster on, I put a gun in it, and I do box jumps. Now, if I can't get 10 box jumps without this gun moving around, then I immediately return it back to the manufacturer and ask for my money back. So this is my go-to for inside the waistband. My other one, I have no clue where the hell it's at. Huh?
Put that holster, look closer to the camera so I can see the. I'm gonna see the bottom. Okay. Now it has the fin. That one has that fin on the backside of it to keep it more contour to your body.
Keep it up.
No, right here.
See you out.
Yeah.
See,
it's right here.
There we go.
So that's the one
And
that
see-
pushes towards your body to make you more contoured.
And see, Mike, that's what I was talking about. So you see where his belt loops are on that one,
Yeah.
and how much of the barrel is below the belt loops. That's why I like the alien gear part of it. How high it rides from the belt loop to the bottom of the.
You got to have a doctor's degree to be able to use that.
Hey,
shit.
hey,
We talked about this one last night. This is that Safariland ALS. lock-in.
Yes.
Talked about that last night, and this has got that
Safariland.
basket.
This is the DeSantis. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, but it's you don't like his whole style.
No, I do. I love it. No, you're good.
I love it. It's got that contour. It's outside the waistband, but it's I love it. I love it. I've carried my Glock 40 in this.
And if you look, turn it around so they can see the finish of it. If you look, Safariland has different finishes of the holster, and you can even tell like his has. Is that called basket weave?
No,
I call it baskets. It's their tactical.
The carbon fiber.
It's carbon fiber technically.
Yeah. And then this is one, and they all have the ALS, and then here's another one. Like if you see these little grooves, and this is the newest version of it. And if you see, this is the ALS locking system, which locks around the ejection port, the exterior grooves of the ejection port. Yeah. So
right, and that makes sense for outside the waistband to have extra retention.
Yes.
So, and like I said, for me, I always conceal. I don't like ever open carry. Even like I said, if I'm in a suit, I'm open carry with a jacket that covers it, so it's still concealed. I am not a proponent for open carry at all unless I'm on security details, and I'm forced. And they tell me I have to be open carry.
I wear this for my security details. That belly band.
Oh, I can't do that.
Got a fat belly, sorry.
And listen, that neoprene on the back, it resists sweating. I wore this for 11 hours on security detail.
Yeah.
This is still my go-to. I still love Kydex.
And when I'm doing a detail, this is what I carry: a drop down thigh rig.
Is that Safariland? What is that?
Yes, it is actually. It actually
Turn
locks
to the side.
It locks into the it's
Well,
on a Black Hawk. It's on a Black Hawk.
Oh,
Is that on a Black Hawk?
That's that omnivore.
Yes,
I got that. Hold on. I got that. I'll be right
That's the
there.
conspicuous detail. You're not doing the inconspicuous detail.
No. This to let you know you fucked up. this that drop down on the thigh. And I actually, the reason why I like this one is because actually it's a thumb. It releases with the thumb, but it locks around the. I got a streamline on the front of my Canic.
Okay.
It actually locks into the streamlight, and it doesn't lock into your firearm itself.
Go ahead.
Huh?
No.
The streamlight actually has a locking on there that locks it in there, and it's pretty sturdy. I like it. Can't complain with it.
So now that you mentioned Canic, and Mike, this is what we talked about last night, this Black Hawk, that controversial.
Yes.
This Black Hawk, which is the one I so don't recommend. And Canic did the same version, but they did an improvement on it.
Mm-hmm.
So what we found was research and development. When you hit this finger attachment and you grab the firearm and you hit that finger paddle to unlock the mechanism and you came out, your finger would drop in the trigger well.
Everyone says the same shit, and I'm like, that's so not true.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm a trained shooter. I would do it. I would come out, and even though my finger did not drop in the trigger well, it came relatively close. But again, you have to practice your equipment. Same type of, this is the Canic, same type of holster with a finger mechanism. This was a pull mechanism. Each and every time I pulled it, my finger always ended on the top strap of the firearm. It never went.
Don't leave. I need you to send me that information for that because I can't find that nowhere. Which one is that for? The TP9 SF Elite?
TP9 Combat.
Combat, okay.
Yeah, Combat Elite,
I'm gonna see if they got an SF Elite because I have the SF Elite and I got the subcompact also. I love that firearm.
But I had not again, Malik. I wore this on duty. I wore this, I wore this as our backup SRT. I drew it. I probably got about 500 draws out of this thing. Finger never went in the trigger well, but it did go close. So The concern was under stressful situations without training, because a lot of this, our conversation tonight is for the new shooter, the person that's just coming into, shooting, and recommendations that we give as instructors to best holsters. I wouldn't recommend this for a new shooter. He mad now. Now he ain't saying.
Well, in that case, no. What I'll say is this: if we're, and this is just how I feel, for concealed carry, no universal holsters. Get a holster that's specific for your gun. I'm a firm believer in that for concealed carry.
Yes.
But my thing is, as a concealed carrier, I say carry what's comfortable to you, as long as it does, and as long as it does one thing to me. It doesn't collapse when the gun comes out the holster.
Right.
That's what I'm looking for. You can have a leather holster as long as it's a formed leather that doesn't collapse or doesn't have any goofy ass straps. And
this gonna collapse.
Right, that's gonna collapse.
Their pancake gonna collapse. Now they do have some new. They have some new ones out.
This one didn't collapse. This is 11 years. Never collapsed.
And that's a good one because the thing is this, and this is what people kind of get stuck on because everyone screams Kydex, Kydex, Kydex. You have to realize that a diabetic concealed carrier cannot have hard plastic against their skin.
They can't,
because it leads to depending on the person's skin, it leads to bruising, scarring, and bleeding.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Police work needs to bruising, scarring, and bleeding.
That's because y'all have put yourselves in situations.
Hey, military work. Listen, military work leads to bruising, scarring, and bleeding.
But we don't conceal carry as military. Well, yes, we do. I'm sorry. I take that back. We covert carry as military. So, like, for example, and that was a thing I was going to bring up because you were talking about training. So I was going to ask how many people on the panel has a AR pistol or SBR. So I'm bringing a class to Illinois for covert carry, pistol and rifle.
How many people on the panel recommend to people in their house not to let loose with that AR pistol because it'll deafen everybody in the damn house?
First of all, me and my wife have an agreement. If we need new walls, they get the shotgun.
Stop that.
If we need new floors, they get the pistol or the rifle.
Drywall is only like $10 though.
What's that?
For drywall, in case you have to use the weapon in the house.
Oh no, he tearing out a whole bunch of walls. He just one
take
wall.
all the walls.
I have hollow point 300 blackout.
So the perspective on a and listen, I love it. I built my own AR pistol. I built 2 AR pistols, but the reality is there's so much over penetration. If you let loose with that thing, well, that's what people talk about. Somebody come to my house, I'm giving an AR pistol. Boy, you about to deafen everybody within 10 feet of you. And
the house next door,
the
dog in the basement, the mother-in-law in the attic, the kids in the baby room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that has been a very
touchy,
right? Because I have an AR pistol that's chambered in 9mm, and I have one also that's 5.56. I ain't talking about all of them.
I got 300 blackout, baby. Let's go. Let's get it.
But see, I was telling I wouldn't even say she's a friend of mine. I was telling an associate she went and bought her new AR-15 and 223, and she like, man, somebody come in my house. And I know she stays in a condo building. And like I explained to her, you're gonna be sitting downtown in that little room with the camera in the corner, having a conversation with someone.
They shot. That dude shot. It wasn't me.
What do you suggest? I said, if you're gonna do the AR platform, you could get the pistols with a pistol caliber round. Honestly, I prefer one. That's what lays next to my bed. It's the 9mm one, but it's one of those things where a lot of people don't realize that, everyone sees those movies, people jump up and they grab an AR from the house. And it's not smart. It's just not smart. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, auditory occlusion plays a big part in a lot of stuff. So let's not forget that. But I'm going to say it like this. If at the cost of my family sound like Little John for the rest of their life, and I save their life, let me get a yeah. What?
I don't know. In the house, I use a shotgun, and I have a 9mm right now.
Thank you, Age. I got a semi-automatic shotgun. Does the job
There you go.
just fine.
Yeah, I have
Yes.
a shotgun. I have a good sound with it. It's a good warning, and then I have my pistol. So I have keep them both in the same room or nearby.
No, ma'am. No, ain't no warning. It's a semi-automatic shotgun.
No,
You
mine.
know the warning you get?
Boom. Boom.
The only warning you gonna get is that muzzle flash.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
I get
actually, no. I
So-
take that back.
so
I take that back. I take that back. The warning you got was that the door was locked, the window was locked, the garage was locked, my house was locked. That was your warning. When you heard the alarm, that was your warning.
No, like hypothetically, what if like somebody's knocking on your door because there's a fire and you can't hear it? So do you automatically just start shooting, or do you just wait a second to say like, "Hey, what the fuck's up?" or "What's going on?" And then
Knocking on what door?
I
Was
don't
that the
know.
house door or my bedroom door?
Wait.
That's my reasoning for never having like such a major weapon like that, like a shotgun or a pistol in the house. So that way I have a form of control to if someone breaks into my house, what if they're breaking in to save me and I'm shooting the fire department or something, or I'm
Wait.
shooting up.
Okay, wait. Because I love scenarios because I've been trying to get context.
Oh, okay. He
Break-
said that at the protection of his family, he wants to shoot everything down.
Right.
Ooh.
Drywall is replaceable. You said that.
No, I
You said
didn't.
No, Marquise.
No, I am not a spray and pray.
No.
I promise I'm not.
Hold on.
AP, right?
I'm surgical.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I will put sticks in someone's eyeball coming around the corner very fast. And I have video proof of me coming around the corner with a SWAT team and putting 6 in the target's eye
Oh my god.
with a 300 blackout. I don't care. I will be surgical, but the deal is this. If we need new walls, they get the shotgun. If we need new floors, they get the rifle or the pistol.
They need new hearing aids, you mean?
That's again, if my family walks around sound like Little John for the sake of their life, I give them, yeah, what?
But you know what? We done messed up. Mike, we was talking about holsters, man. I'm sorry. We done been.
Oh no!
I got a holster for my AR. It's called a
Hey.
book bag.
I'm loving this conversation. I am not changing. Look, no, keep going.
But I want to. Asia said if somebody's breaking into your house to save you from a fire. So I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, I thought the scenario was what weapon do you choose in the house to use. I thought we were choosing between the caliber of type of weapons or.
Yeah, I'm using that. I'm using the semi-automatic shotgun or a 9.
I got the 9.
Yeah. I mean, I got 40. But then here's the other thing, and I think it lends itself to Malik's point.
Who was Malik?
Marquise, I'm sorry. Marquise.
You know it's bad when you look around the building like,
I know.
Who's Malik?
But if you train and you are surgical. If you train and you're accurate and you're effective, then whatever somebody puts in your hand, it could be a 22. It's going to do the trick. It's going to work. But I think we're talking about the average everyday person that just went out and paid this money for this, AR pistol. And now their idea is after they went and shot 2 and 2 and 2 and high-fived at the range, somebody comes in their house and they're just letting loose. Without
They don't understand that bullet is going to continue to go and go and go. It's a heavily penetrating bullet. A lot of people don't understand ballistics, and I don't think a lot of people spend a lot of time. I have set up and watched ballistic gel tests done on multiple rounds, and I'm talking about hours, countless of hours to understand. That's actually how I found out what cartridge I was going to carry for my everyday carry, my conceal and carry, by watching ballistic gel tests. And certain manufacturers do certain things different with their bullets to make them react a different way. So if I suggest that everyone go out, if you get a chance to. It's all on YouTube. Go on there, find the ballistic gel test.
Well, here's the thing, and this is what I would say. If we're talking home defense and is grab gun and go get into some action, my question becomes, what the hell was your home defense plan in the first place? Because my thing is, I want to invest in a gun, but I also want to invest in a home defense plan. Does the family run to the bathroom and wait for the bad guys to come? Do they get inside the bathtub? Do I have a baby in the house where we got to run to the baby's room and protect the baby and hope that they just take what they want and get the fuck out? Do we have a plan that says, Okay, you got a pistol, I got a pistol. We're gonna line up in the hallway, and when I say ready, aim, we're gonna have a shooting squad. So again,
wait a minute. You actually want to expect people to put a free plan at the free, cost no money, in place to protect themselves? That's preposterous, sir.
Right. And I'm telling you, and it's so crazy where I'm like, okay, my wife has a gun, I have a gun. That's the plan. Okay. Because guess what? If you come to one of those doors, if you come to one of those doors, you come to one of those windows, something's going to alert us that something's going on. We have the camera systems that's going to alert us that someone's in the way. We have motion detectors that say someone is coming. So when it comes down to it, if the plan is someone breaks in, let's shoot
like a kid on the side.
Mike, like you got ADHD for real.
So if my thing is this, if the plan is let's go ahead and when someone comes to the door, we're gonna shoot. I'm like, shit, what was the plan in case if it was a fire? Do you do regular fire drills? Like, hey, if there's a fire, which way are we getting out the house? Is that in your plan?
That's
so the thing is this.
That's
as a person who consults houses of worship, who consults people's homes and security services, and let them know, hey, this is who you need to contact to have the right system put in. Dude, I'm all about planning, but we all know what happens with plans. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yep.
Mike
But
Tyson.
my question to you was, what was your plan before
you got punched
in the mouth? Because those who don't plan, those who fail to plan to fail. Let's call it what it is. Again, I'm doing a $20 course literally on home and personal defense plans. I got 6 students.
And it sounds crazy.
7.
It sounds easy, and people don't do it. Predominantly, people will not plan. Hell, people will have alarm systems and won't turn them on.
Man.
One turn them on, one has a battery charge. I think with the plan, you have to always keep in mind your like personally for me, because I have small children, I always said, where do the kids go? I have in my mind, I have to throw them in a closet or either take them with me and be prepared to go. I have to have my weapon, and that's what's been hard lately is like finding a good holster where I'm holding one baby and I have a baby in a stroller. So I've been attaching it to myself, like in the front, and then at home, my front and back door are points of entry. I have to make sure of my windows and be conscious of like those two things. When I shoot forward and backwards, where my neighbors are, all of those things matter. Even where my extra rounds are. If something happens, exit. And if I have to exit, in the event you have to leave your house. Attack you or something.
Asia, you the one with the feedback. That's
no, it's not Asia. It's not Asia. It was St. Michael. I got him.
It was St. Michael. Oh,
yep.
Let me ask you a question, because I've heard this school of thought about home defense and toys in the yard being a deterrent for bad guys. Has anybody heard about that? Like a lot of
it's only like plastic little toys.
No, just toys in the yard, because bad guys don't want to go into houses where there may be kids. There may
that's bullshit. Let me tell you why.
That's the old school criminals. That's the old school criminals. These new school criminals, they don't give a shit about you with your mama, your grandmama, your kids, the pastor, they don't care who you with. They just gonna do what they gonna do. So that's the old school guys.
I don't leave them outside because I don't leave them outside in the middle of a predatory sense, like for pedophiles. I don't leave them placed, and then I don't leave them outside. I do leave them outside. Well, I don't leave them outside because of the pedophiles. I move in, and then the one that is outside is something that is kind of gender neutral, I would say, and it's something that wears in the weather, so it doesn't hurt bad. Like I like it as a placement to know how far my yard is. I don't want to sit in that way, but for my shooting, like before my neighbor's yard comes, I have like a little swing set, and then on the right side, it's like it's just a guide marker for me personally, so I can know how close somebody is in my yard.
She sounds deadly.
You ever consider using
I invited her. I felt like I forgot how.
Hey, she got a ribbon blowing in the tree so she can know the windage. Y'all
better watch out now.
Hey,
would you consider using a 22 in self-defense as opposed to a 9 or 40 because of the percussion and the babies?
So it just depends on where I'm going. Like when I travel and I have a stroller, I use my smaller weapon, which is 22. And then in the house, like I have my 9 nearby, but I don't leave my weapons.
Don't show it.
Don't show it. Don't show it. You can't show it.
Here's the reason. YouTube will kill the feed.
Only blue ones. Only blue.
It's okay.
What the fake one?
Hey, they probably saw just a little bit of it. Don't worry about it.
Well, no, I keep my 9 for the like, you know, and then like I said, I have a shotgun and a 22 when I travel, but I use a fanny pack for the front of that one because
do you teach? Are you an instructor? Do you teach that in classes?
I want to learn with Mike. So I've been I got my notary so I can help with him, and then we talked about me coming to like watch and just help out, but not yet. Only because I just didn't take the class. It's like,
oh God, let me tell you, there is so much because we're men and you know we're pricks. And we're misogynistic and not empathetical. And a lot of the shit we say, which is, you know, I was telling people today, because Mike was really getting on him. Oh, he was on fire today. Jesus. Mike was on fire.
Blame on.
But Mike was being a lemon.
I like how you brought up that USPCA target, Mike. You know, that's my thing.
Yeah, people were taking things to heart.
People based on
Emotion. We took emotion out of it and listen to the practicality. You know, more women need to realize that they're their own first responder. You know?
Everybody, not just women.
Yeah, but well, I think today was a lot of it was geared because it was women that made some references to them not liking and you know shit. Mike don't care. Mike don't care. He don't care if you like him.
15 minutes for the police to make it to my house. So I understand I have to have at least 15 minutes of protection for myself and my family.
That's 15 minutes on a good day. When I'm on patrol and I'm halfway across town and I get this call and I've got to get through traffic, that's 15 minutes on a good day.
Yeah. Do you have a fallout bag?
I do, but it's actually in the basement, and then I keep one in my trunk of my car, and I have you know, I don't want to give like all my points and stuff away, but
please don't.
Yeah, don't.
Marquise, why you say no?
I'm not a fan of go backs because where you finna go?
Well, see,
if you have to go.
She got the babies.
She just said she had the babies and she
got
has
the
a
babies.
stroller.
I
And
do have to.
if she has to go, then if she had a bag that had her extra ammo, that had maybe things for the kids, food, water, diapers, whatever they may
where
need.
You finna go?
Where she
finna
go?
It's a good question. The hell up out of the house.
Well,
okay, so this is where I'm stuck in when it comes to go bags. And this is why I stopped talking about go bags. A go bag requires you to go somewhere and set up a defensive perimeter.
Right. When your best perimeter at home.
Why not empower the people in your neighborhood to be better defensive so y'all can keep motherfuckers out your neighborhood if they shit hits the fan?
Well, I think it depends on where you are, though.
Right. I think he's getting it
that's even worse.
I think he's getting it from the dignitary protection perspective because that was something they encourage us to have. But I'm like, dude, all my artillery, all my MREs, I've got a blowout kit. All of that stuff is here.
So I'm looking at 3 bags right now.
I think it depends on the type of house you have. Like my home, I have a 3-level home. So on every level of my home, I have to have protection on each level.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What I'm saying is though, with the go bag.
Yeah, the go bag.
So that's what I'm saying. And this is the thing that got people, like a lot of quote unquote preppers, they were like, yeah, I got the go bag. I'm like, where you finna go? Well, I'm finna go out to the woods. So you're finna leave a place where you can see any and everything coming
that you know.
Put yourself in a place where 360 degrees, the shit's finna hit the fan.
Well, see, I have a different thing with that, and the reason why I have one is because for work, when I got that call, I had a bag with all of my stuff in it. Whereas
that's why I said he's coming from a dignitary protection perspective.
That's not a go bag.
Well, just hear me out first. Listen, Linda. Listen. So for me, the bag that I do have prepared as a go bag is in case I have to go and get to my mother them on the other side of town, and I may need to grab that and go immediately.
That's not a go bag.
That's not
a go bag. That's why your signal keep going out. God don't like ugly. But
give the bag a name. What's the bag? What's it called then?
So here's the thing. you have your work bag.
Mhm.
Like, for example, I have a work bag. If I'm doing executive protection, I got a bag with a battery for my radio. I got mints. I got
Extra underwear.
gum.
Extra underwear.
Extra drawers, cologne. Every type of freaking electrical, excuse me, what do you want to call it? A cigarette outlet for every type of phone, including cords. So I'm talking for every iPhone, for every Android. I have all of that in my bag.
Oh, wait. And I'm gonna pause right because I'm gonna forget it. If we can, everybody out here, try to find the Blue Ridge Universal Charger.
Blue Ridge, RIDG.
BLU, just like it sounds, Blue Ridge. It is. I saw it at SHOT Show. That thing is amazing. The problem is it's stuck on a damn dock somewhere. But if you can get that charge, I'm telling you, if you can get that charger, it is the best universal charger, hands down. And if you don't think so, I don't know.
And that's the other thing I have in my work bag for when I'm doing executive protection is a portable battery.
Right.
In case my clients need to charge their phones. It's so much stuff in this bag. I even bought a bag to hold the stuff for the bag.
Now,
So,
I'm gonna have to go with you guys. Mom's steadily calling me because she has some issues with her water. But the reason why I got my bag set up like that is because especially summertime, summer months, April to October or whatever, my evacuation plan, if we have to have an evacuation plan, is to head to my boat and we're out on the water. So I have a bag that I grabbed that has everything that I need to get to that boat with everybody, get to Mom's, and we out there.
And I kind of agree with Marquise. People will talk about this going stuff. How long are you prepared to go? Are you prepared to go for 24 hours? Prepared to go for a week, a month? Because
my boat is set up for me to be out there for 30 days without.
For you or for a group of people?
No, for me and my family. Me, my 2 kids, wife, mom, and dad. Yes, sir.
So and what's that, 6 people?
And I'm the boatswain's mate.
Yeah, Mike been out there to the boat for 6 people. See, one thing about it, the great thing about living up here in on the Great Lake, food part is a very, I'm floating on top of food. There are fishing poles out there. I have a stove on there, So the things that, the water and all of that stuff, I got water tanks on there and everything. So I know what you're thinking, like, man, how much food do we have? How much this do we have? How much that do we have? Everything is provided by Lake Michigan. The reason why I say Lake Michigan is because I don't know if you guys.
I ain't done on Lake Michigan.
Now the fish may taste like.
Man, listen here, dude.
Alcohol and pee.
Hey, I don't have a third eye yet, but they have some great fish that come out of Lake Michigan, buddy.
Shit,
some great fish.
Great fish that come out of Lake Michigan.
Yeah. But yeah, so I do have a plan that if all shit goes haywire and you have to leave your home and you have to go somewhere else, Albert, Mike, Albert, Albert and myself, we have set up a plan as to where we're supposed to meet up at if shit goes haywire up in the Chicagoland area. He's out of Newton County. He has it a nice little area, so he and I have a plan as to how I'm going to get to him. If communication is down, where our meetup location is, what signs to look forward to. So
have you looked at the city plans, the city evacuation plans?
Man, I don't give a shit about what their plans is. Be honest with you.
Oh Lord. Okay.
So
KD,
hold on. So KD just proved the point that I just said about go bags. Where you finna go? He just argued me down this whole time, but what did he just say right now?
Where he was gonna go?
Thank you. That's why I said, is it a go bag because you have a destination? My man just said, well, me and my buddy, we got a plan. Then it's a fucking go bag. That was my point. Most people have the go bag, and the place they plan on going is to the damn forest.
So KD.
Yes, sir.
It would behoove you to look at the city evacuation plan.
I seen it.
I'm going to tell you, being on that response unit where we do mass evacuations, where you think you're going to be able to go is going to be gridlocked because they will stare everyone in that one area when they can get what they call essential people.
Yeah.
in another area. So you think you got that route.
Well, see, that's the reason. That's the reason why I got my boat where I got access to it at.
Yeah,
because of that Pacific evacuation plan.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I got my boat there. Because in the beginning of COVID, when they shut down pretty much everything, they actually implemented the evacuation plan, but they implemented it more so for crowd control, if you want to say. So they put barriers up, concrete barriers. They dump piles of sand in different places, and and actually I talked to the alderman, and he was telling me, like, so we sat and I went to the town hall meeting, and according to their parameters as to where they will allow us to go and not allow us to go.
They are not your friend in that crisis.
Right. They don't care who you are, what you do. So I actually implemented an area where I can go that it was, I probably was an ass about it, but I can still get to that area. I'd have to do a little walking, but once I get to where I need to get to, I'm good. I'm free and clear. So yeah, it when I say I don't give a shit about they plan to me was more so keeping everybody together. What the hell is she?
You got zip cups. You got flex cups.
Hey, you know what?
Those flex cups are good.
So vegetables and stuff.
Paracord. A lot of people don't realize that paracord is a good thing to have.
Yeah. Yeah, but here's the thing. So because I'm doing the executive protection, I got flex cuffs in case I have to detain. I have a scarab in case I have to cut them damn things off. I have a multi-tool in case I got to fix something for a client. Like I said, I have a bag for specific stuff.
Yep.
There's the portable charger, so my clients' phones are always charged, and they can steal YouTube, Snapchat, whatever the hell these young kids do nowadays. I don't know. And some of these old folks.
That Blue Ridge is also a solar charger as well. You put the solar panels out, it'll charge the units.
In case my client feels like breath might be a little bit tart, bro, I got sugar-free Mentos.
We got Mentos in there,
bro. Mentos sugar-free gum.
Hey, you know what? They actually
got no, I ain't done. Hold up.
They actually got another solar power that you put in the water. If you're around water, that charges your water that charges your phones and stuff up.
I don't go on large bodies of water because I don't tread water very well. So
you know what? I think that's a culture thing, man. Because everybody in our culture say the same shit. My boat ain't trying to sink.
Did you hear what I said though? I didn't say I couldn't swim.
No, you said you don't tread water very well.
Exactly. I'm a shark in the water. But the minute my ass stop moving, I'm just like a shark. I'm dead.
I got life jackets for you.
Exactly. I'll be a floaty wear individual. Remember I talk about the cords?
I swim.
I got life jackets. I got
I'm a lifeguard.
Lifeboats that blow up.
Yep. Former lifeguard and current whale.
Bruh, forget that. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Current baby C.
I be the only person on KD's boat wearing floaties. Talk about some, hey dude.
You ain't getting on the boat. Not with no
Angel, what were you getting ready to say earlier?
Oh, I was reading somebody's comments and they said that they had to hunker down, and that's how I felt like I had to always stay. So I was, protecting the levels of my house or preparing to live on each level. And what was important to me was honestly growing vegetables and things like that, like solar power, energy being able to cook. I gotta get a fireplace installed, and then it's like I can have all the weapons, I can have everything in the world, but if I can't stay here and eat and grow food. So lately, potatoes and pumpkins has been like the biggest thing. I have them like in every window just to see what it does. But that converted my solar power over, and actually I can get into my roof, but I want to be able to get onto my roof in a different manner. Like, do you get what I mean? It's like a weird slant. So I want to be able to get up there, and I can't at the moment, but I can get into every level of my house, and I've put things away, on every level of the house, preparing to have to just run through the home if necessary, if I can't run out. Because like someone else put that, when you run outside, who helps you? What do you do? Where do you go? And then if you lose all of your ammo at some point, or you lose your house, you're open, then you just lose your security in a sense. Like, or
swords and knives.
I have knives too.
Swords and knives. That's where I'm at. I'm a sword and knife person.
I have knives everywhere.
Yeah, I got throwing knives and axes somewhere everywhere in my house.
Violent.
I feel like a knife is the first good start. If I could toss a knife and then I have to go somewhere, but it's in every room, and then you just never know what happens. Sometimes you have to.
And and when it comes to the food aspect,
stab me, shoot me, please. Don't stab me.
No, I insist.
That's a crime of passion.
But here's the thing, and for me, that's why I have a lot of vegan friends. So in case there is a meat shortage, I know where I'm going.
Well, I got a Martha Stewart knife.
Vegans are technically cows now.
You got a Martha Stewart knife collection.
Yeah,
I have some chickens, but the chickens you have to really I have a rabbit because I thought rabbits would be good to keep. But then my little doggy ate the rabbit, so I've been trying to do different animals to keep around. But
But that's why I keep vegans around. You keep animals, I keep vegans.
I think you want to eat both because if the vegetables die, then what are we going to eat if we don't have any?
The vegans,
the people, like cannibalism.
It's not cannibalism if they chose to eat only vegetables. They're like cows.
It's not coming to your house.
You a vegan?
Certain days, and certain days.
No. You can't be no sometime vegan. Either you is or you ain't.
No,
I'm a sometime vegan.
See, no, say we're about.
I'm
vegan. Y'all contaminated meat to me. I need a true vegan.
No, if I go to a nice restaurant with a nice menu,
Marquise, a true vegan won't even eat honey.
Bruh, a true vegan means there are cattle.
Y'all see what Gene did? Got the doggy with the knife and the plate and the fucking rabbit. Oh my God.
There for a child.
All right, guys, listen, I got to run. My dinner's been cold.
Yeah, same here.
Times, man.
See, that's why I ate before this.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk next week more about holsters. And I'm gonna bring the holsters out of the woodwork because I want to have that conversation about holsters, what's good, what's bad, and this is all of course, our subjective opinion. Whatever, I do agree with Marquise that whatever you have, you need to train with it, but it needs to be stress inoculation training. It can't be that range training because that's not stress inoculation. You need somebody to put you up under some stress. Maybe if you're a smaller lady, I am always, and even a smaller guy, whatever, just pick you up, maybe push you down, push you around, something like that. Just get you working to the point where you got to climb through something, crawl through something. See if your holster is going to even stay in place during dynamic, stress-induced movement. Because if your holster shifts location, you're gonna have an issue with that shit. Because we're creatures of habit, and your body's gonna gravitate towards the last known place it remembered that gun to be at. And if it's no longer there, now you're freaking the fuck out.
Yep.
Totally
freaking out.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's key. Is there's people who will tell you, same gun, same holster, same place all the time. I feel that in certain situations, but like you just said, we're creatures of habit and we all don't wear the same thing every time.
Right.
So my thing is, like for me, I carry the same gun. Am I opposed to using any other gun in defense of my life if I don't have an opposite choice? Nope. I use a damn slingshot if I have to. It's just whatever I have. But the whole point is to get training.
Yes.
You cannot believe you know what you're doing when you're gonna do it. Right. When the feces hit the oscillator, you can't say, I got this. No. I'm gonna tell you the same tip, and it's a free tip because unfortunately you usually have to be in my class to hear it. As I tell people, when you're waiting on your concealed carry, find your gun. Once you find your gun, and again, what I mean by find your gun is go shoot it.
Yes.
And see what the paper says. Not how it feels in your hand, what the paper says.
Right.
You shoot that gun, you see what the paper says, you buy that gun, you get the holster based on how you're going to carry.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have those things and those dynamics done, I give you a challenge for 7 days. Get dressed, put on your holster, put your empty gun in that holster, and train for 2 minutes a day before you leave the house. That way, for 7 days, for 2 minutes, you have trained in different outfits. Unless you wear the same clothes every day, then that's a problem. But you trained for 2 minutes in 7 different outfits. So that way you understand that when the feces hits the oscillator, You know what to do, and you're not assuming what you're going to do. And I'm saying 2 minutes to be nice. Because let's say for 2 minutes, you have 15 draws and 15 shots in 2 minutes. Okay. So that'll be 105 draws and shots from the pistol from concealment. And it costs you nothing. The true way of myelination, aka unconscious competence.
That's right.
There are some people who say 15 minutes. There's some people who say 20 minutes. For me, it's always been 15 minutes. It's like if I have 15 minutes of uninterrupted practice, no distractions, 15 minutes.
Gentlemen, I gotta go. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'll see y'all next week. I get in touch with y'all separately. Hey, send Mike the information about that holster for me.
All right, you got it.
All right.
All right, man.
But some people say 20 minutes. I say 15 is enough. 15 minutes a day, and you pick your day. And if you can do it every day, go for it. What is 15 minutes out your day? Wake up 20 minutes earlier to practice for 15 minutes. 15 minutes a day practicing some form of skill. And I feel like this. If you do it, and I'm only saying 15, John, because most people can't give you 20. You can't argue with 15. Most people can argue with 20. Right. Most of y'all don't last 15 in the bed. So anyway, when it comes down to this, 15 minutes of pure concentrated practice is worth its weight in gold. Because now if you're drawing from the holster, pulling the trigger, doing something uninterrupted for 15 minutes, you have full focus and you can identify what you're doing and why you're doing it. Make it meaningful. It has to have meaning. Don't do it just to do it. Do it with a meaning. Why? Where? Be mindful of what you're doing. Why are my hands this way? Why am I reloading this way? Why is my hand up here instead of down here? Why am I drawing the gun from here instead of over there? Why? And once you have that mindful training, that 15 minutes goes a long way. Mm-hmm. But you have to be mindful in what you're doing and why you're doing it. Purpose. It doesn't make sense just to do it. Purpose. Just like going to the gun range. If you don't have a plan when you go to the gun range, what I tell people, whatever you practice for that week or that day, take yourself to the gun range and see, does it work? Most people say, well, you can't draw from the holster in at most gun ranges. Okay, fine. But you can always practice reloading. You can always practice reloading your gun at the freaking range. And I'm not talking about from that damn bench or the table or the desk, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about get yourself a magazine holster and get your practice in. Drop mag, grab mag, let's go. Let's get it. There's no excuse why you can't get better. The only excuse you got is you. You are your own excuse.
Yep.
And also, Mike, if you don't mind, do you have that video? The one you said you want to show tonight?
Which one? Oh, are you talking about
the one for a fast action response team?
Oh, I gotta go. Hey, Marquise, hit me up. So, like I said, you have that class. Call me. I will come up there. I will donate my time. Make that thing happen.
Okay, cool.
All right. And Mike,
all right.
Information on that Canic holster from
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Peace and love.
All right, man.
All right,
yeah. I do have it. I just didn't put it up. I'm gonna put it up on the YouTube page. Y'all gotta watch the next video. I'm gonna put it up right after this is over with on the YouTube page. That shit is hilarious. I am not gonna ruin it. I will put it up right after this is over with because I did not have it up there. Marquise did. That was funny. And then the sound effects y'all did with that was classic. That was classic. So I ain't gonna ruin it. That was classic. And then his face. Yeah, that was funny. All right, y'all. We are out of here. Come back next Wednesday. Trigger with Instructor Mike. We're gonna talk more about these holsters because I swear I wanted to. Matter of fact, because there's 20 people that's still here. Oh, not that one. What was I? This right here.
Yeah, you got to blow it up for the people, though.
But there's no way you can because it's a reel. Yeah, it's a reel. You can't blow it up. So, but you see how well, I can zoom in. Yeah, there we go. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to hit it from the beginning then.
Let's see if it'll. Oh, there it is. Just can't even. I gotta hold it there.
Dumbass boy. But you saw her instant reaction?
Yeah.
She grabbed for what he just took.
Yep.
But it was too late.
Had her pop in her hand on the phone with that purse.
And exposed.
Yep. And the thing is, let's just be frank. You got these women that wear these pants thinking that they got that. Hey, what did I say before? Pussy privilege. I said. Thinking that the guys ain't going to come for you. They're not going to touch you. All bonnet, hair messed up, hat. Look, you know, are those the Yeezys she got on? Yep, Yeezys or either, I don't know, whatever.
I don't know what those are. But even that, man, you talking about a back carry?
Wow. Yeah.
A back carry. Dude, that's almost a universal sin.
Yeah. I think she was carrying it at 4 o'clock. Snatched it right from under her. You know, that was horrible. Why you here? Let me play this other video. So I just did this one today.
Duck behind the car.
Duck behind the car. Use the car as a barrier, right? Okay. So I'm gonna show you this video because I haven't showed you the video, and then I want you to tell me what you think of it. Now, you've seen the first part of that video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he run very fast and catch up to her?
Not very fast. It's like
think about it. Let's watch this part again. Look at how fast he caught to her. Even if he shot her, would he have still fallen on her?
Mm-hmm. Because he right up on her.
He right up on her.
Right up on her.
Now, the laws of physics are to the laws of physics. Hold on for a minute. Now, Eric said in the comments, Eric said that was good. Eric, what do you mean that was good? I want to get your perspective because I don't define that as good because if you look at it, the only reason he stopped was because it was a scenario. Like in that situation, she was good as gone. Just because you got that gun doesn't mean, excuse me, ginger ale. Just because you got that gun doesn't mean you stop running. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't eliminate you from creating distance and creating space. The only reason why he stopped was because of that drill. So let's just say right here, she shot him, right? Even if she shot him, he is still an object in motion. So the laws of physics would apply. One, he would probably be on top. Oh, the video was good. Okay. He would be on top of her. And if he's on top of her, first of all, we don't even know how fast he's running, but if he's running fast enough, there's no telling. I am almost certain that his hands were down by his side. In that situation, he still had a gun in his hand. So I would argue, and maybe you, and I know you're probably going to say either the same thing or something different. One, I'm not a fan of purse carry because that's a fine motor skill trying to get in that zipper to try to get to that holster. And then when you see her backing up, even if she's got this truck that she can literally run around to provide her some type of, I know you've played around cars where you're trying to catch each other. That buys you time. That buys you time. You can literally shoot. You know, there's other things you could do. She just ran backwards. And the only reason why she ran backwards was one. It was planned.
Because it was planned.
Yes. It was planned. And it was like you knew that it was going to happen. So you knew you weren't going to get ran the fuck over. And I believe he still, if he would have had a knife, she would be bleeding. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think he had a gun.
Would he have still fallen on her?
Yeah, you see that gun right there. You said what? Oh, that was me talking. I'm talking. See, right here, a gun in his hand. So by him having that gun in his hand and him seeing her right here pushing out her gun, if this was a real situation, he would have been shooting, continuously running forward. You know, which comment were you talking about where you said about Marquise reacting to? Oh, this one, Marquise.
Because I know John did it on purpose.
Yeah, he did it.
I know he did it on purpose. That's why I don't know if he, like, if you rewind the face, you probably see my face when I went. But and to touch on this, I'm gonna tell you like this: a scenario that shows a person who knows the person ain't a threat, and the person who's being the threat, who is stopping being a threat. This scenario is perfect because they know that there's a restriction. But my question becomes, what fucking idiot with a gun charges at a person?
Yes.
I got a gun.
Right. You don't even have to.
So let's look at this scenario and why I say this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. If I have a firearm in my hand and I'm a bad guy, why am I going to charge a woman with a purse when once I point the gun and give my instructions, if you don't follow those instructions and I'm a true bad guy,
shoot your ass.
I'm going to shoot your ass.
Right.
Now, it would have made more sense to me if he carried a knife and showed that scenario, then it would have made sense. But why would I run at you with a gun? That's stupid, Diddy. No one does that in real life. No. Whatever kind of food you like.
Let's watch the second half, though, because it got even stupider. Here we go.
Here we go. Now, in this next scenario that they show, he asks for her purse. She throws down the purse.
But she's still leaving herself wide open.
Still leaving herself wide open, right? He still got the gun in his hand. So he hadn't taken the gun out of his hand. And so she has the chance to use that truck as a barrier to escape. But what is she defending? Is she defending her life or is she defending that purse?
She's defending the purse.
She's defending the purse.
All he wanted was the purse.
That's absolute.
Now, don't get me wrong. I definitely understand the context that you can't always count on the bad guy to all he wanted was the person that he's not going to kill you. But we have to avoid creating reasons to shoot.
And
you see what I'm saying?
Putting a gun in a purse is a reason to shoot.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, I get what you're saying, Eric. He could still shoot her, but the statistics. See, if you have no gun to use, what would you do? Marquise said it. I said it. Other folks on the panel have said it. What would you do if you had no gun to use? If you were not paying attention and you had no gun to use, you are literally at the mercy of that person anyway. So if you at the mercy of that person anyway, because you have the gun on you, don't be unnecessarily brave. If you would be at that mercy without that gun, play as though you're at that mercy with that gun because your situational awareness sucked before you had the gun and you were not educated enough to increase your situational awareness even with the gun. So still play at the mercy because it makes no sense trying to create a circumstance where, okay, now I can shoot. You done already dropped the purse. You shouldn't have any of your sensitive information in that purse anyway. It should be on your person. And see, that's what I said. You got these, and I'm not saying all women fit this bill, but you got some who got pussy privilege. And I said that. You want to, if you want to carry a firearm and you want to be a defender, you're putting yourself in a different class of warrior, guardian, defender, whatever you want to call yourself. You're putting yourself in a different class, which means you got to carry yourself differently. You have to think differently. You have to avoid shit even more. You have to be an Uber manager of your anger management, your emotions, your mouth, the shit you get into, what you get out of, what you stay away from. You don't go looking for reasons to shoot.
You don't put yourself in situations for reasons to shoot.
Yes. And that's one of the things, like, even I teach that in my class, and we're going to make this too long, but I teach that in my class, and I know Marquise does, right? We're not looking for reasons to shoot. And when I go through my have to shoot versus want to shoot scenarios, one of the questions I commonly get asked is, well, when you going to tell us when you can shoot? That's because in a real situation, you don't need to be told. Your body knows. You got to do this or we going to fucking die. There is a total difference between an instinctive, impulsive, stress-inoculated response and one where you calculated and planned to do that shit. There's a huge difference between that. Your body is very smart. It knows how to protect itself so long as you don't fight against the body's will to want to fucking live. Your body is smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yes.
Share that link because I can't share links.
Yeah, I got you.
But and like I said, you gotta look at these scenarios and you gotta look at what's real. All right. That's why a lot of this stuff comes into play with understanding why. Why am I carrying this gun? Why am I learning self-defense? Why am I learning how to think on my feet? Why am I learning situational awareness? Why? And the whole thing is, it's scenarios like that where someone's going to give you the false belief that you, with this type of device, is going to be able to do what you need to do. And it's total malarkey. Well, I got this gun and I got it in my purse. I got this. I'm sorry. Realistically speaking, I put money in a situation where I catch someone with a purse concealed carry where they don't see me coming. I bet money I got that person.
Mm-hmm.
I bet money. Because if you don't see me coming, guess what? Your tools mean nothing to me. Your tools mean absolutely nothing. Like, for example, when you watch a movie where you see ninjas versus samurai, there's a reason why you see two people fighting and they're facing each other, because it's only Hollywood. Ninjas showed up and disappeared. They didn't do any up close, let me go ahead and fight you face to face. It was a sneak attack. Let me go in here, do this, and get the hell out. Guess what a criminal's thought process is? Let me get in here, do what I need to do, get out. Like, one of the things mentioned was, well, what if you have toys out in the yard? It might deter a criminal. It also shows you're vulnerable. Because if I get your kid, guess what you might be willing to do? Anything I say. You might be willing to do anything I say. And that's dangerous.
Yep.
That's extremely dangerous. That's the last thing you want, is someone to have those type of opportunities on you. So I'm telling you what's real. Your training will dictate how you react to these situations. And if your training is garbage or basura, whatever language you speak, it's going to show. And I pray to God it doesn't show in real life. It shows in the class.
Right.
Because I'm telling you now, playing stupid games equals stupid prizes. And you're going to find out the hard way, man, I shouldn't have done this. More power to this lady if she promoting one of her purses. I don't want to say, it's a stupid idea. I'm just not a fan of purse concealed carry. It makes no sense to me. Here's a riddle. What does a purse snatcher snatch?
The purse. Right.
You know, it's literally the equivalent of wearing a condom to a baby shower.
Hey-o.
The damage is done. Damage is done. What's that for?
Good analogy.
You know, so again, people, don't go for the fads.
Yeah.
Do your research on what you want to carry, why you want to carry it, and how you want to carry it.
Yes.
Don't let nobody put no gun on you. Man, this is the gun I use. You should get this.
Boy.
Nah, go shoot it.
Right.
Go shoot it. Let that paper tell you. Man, this is the best holster in the world. I'm going to tell you like this. I have a, what do you want to call it? A Ziploc container full of holsters.
Yep. Sitting here, look at mine now.
Because again, it's a learning process. It doesn't happen overnight. All right. So I'm going to tell you like this. There's a couple things you don't trust. A skinny cook and a person who tells you they can hold a gun perfectly still.
Yeah, boy. Yep. All right, y'all. Next Wednesday, Trigger with Instructor Mike. Friends. Hey, sign up for Marquise's course. I just put the link in the comments right here. Okay. Sign up for it's a Zoom. It's a Zoom. Do it. I'm gonna sign up. So sign up for that course because there's always extra things that you can learn, and it's only $20. I mean, $20, right? You could do that. Y'all can do that. Okay, y'all can do that. You know, invest in yourself. All right. Last words, Marquise, and we out of here.
Last words. Make sure you go look at the video Mike is going to post. It definitely might help you save your life, since he won't play it right now, which is only 1 minute and 22 seconds.
Is it on YouTube already?
I gave it to you. I gave you the link.
No,
and it's on my YouTube page.
Oh shit! No, let's go there now. Fuck no, we can play that right now. My bad.
When we see the link again,
you could. I got the link. Matter of fact, nope. I'm in my Facebook page right now. I got the link.
Oh shit!
It's going down. Yes.
And remember, these tactics might save your life.
Tactical systems, and we are at.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm about to share it now. It's going down. Share that tab. Here we go. You see it?
Nope. Nah, you still got some big screen.
There we go. Bam. There we go. Hold on. Let me. This shit. Here we go.
Chicago Urban National Tactical Systems, and we are at Conceal and Carry Institute with my right-hand man, First Sergeant Farts.
Good evening, everybody. This is First Sergeant Fart with the Fast Action Response Team. What we're going to be demonstrating tonight is what to do after being shot. All right, from here, my assailant has the gun on me. When he fires, I didn't grab the gun. What my assailant doesn't know is that I've already shifted my internal organs to avoid the bullet.
Amazing.
That was
these two bad guys here is that I'm playing with power. Nintendo power. From here, I'm going to hit pause. Then I'm going to enter my code for all weapons. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA select start. Too little. Not enough.
Overkill. Really? Oh.
Just right. Fight. First Sergeant Force here, letting you know our techniques are silent but deadly.
That shit good.
Oh my God. We got more of those coming too.
Yeah, that shit
just so you know, we got more of those coming. But yeah, those are definitely techniques that's gonna save your life.
Oh my God.
I don't know what happened.
Oh,
I don't know if I said something wrong. Facebook it just went away.
What the fuck just happened?
Yeah, y'all need to ask y'all.
Oh, that's Patai. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So just remember, our techniques are silent but deadly. Just so you know.
Farts. Just like a fart. Oh shit, hilarious. I'm glad you told me you had that link. All right, good deal. That's it. Y'all Y'all go follow Marquise on his page, man. Go follow Marquise on his page if you don't already do that. And then sign up for his class. Like, we love the follows, but sign up for his class for sure. Because
and Mike, you're still doing security training, right?
Yeah.
I gotta send somebody to you. Someone just hit me up and asking me, do I have it? I'm like, nah, I got someone else for you.
Yeah. All right.
I kind of refuse to teach it.
That is something. I just got through texting somebody just right now about a security class. So yes, the phone always stays off the hook. Probably because I don't establish boundaries. But that's another topic. All right, y'all.
Then also remember too, they also got to still do, like, I think, what is it, at least 4 to 8 hours of extra training per year.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Be safe, you guys. Take care. And we'll see you next Wednesday. We're out.